to your heart. Let yourself be still and listen. Feel my presence, the way you notice sunlight warming your face after a season of clouds. This word is your anchor for today, fashioned for that ache you rarely name and for the restless longing pulling at you before you even open your eyes. I see every unspoken question. Will things ever change for me? Am I enough? Hear me letting go of this now would only deepen your longing. Stay and let me tend to you right where you are. Breathe in gently and notice the rhythm of your own heart. Each beat is a gift I've chosen to give you. The space in this quiet is no accident. I designed it so you could find me here. No matter how many worries crowd your mind, let them slip to the side for a second. Allow the morning or evening hush to wrap around you, like my own arms laying rest across your shoulders. I am near, nearer than the questions, and I am not in a hurry. The world can spin so quickly, but my care moves with a sacred slowness. I have all the time you need. Little one, you have tried so hard not to falter. You measure your steps and second-guess your choices, as if your destiny could unravel with one misstep. But I am the keeper of your story, guarding every chapter. Your struggles do not disqualify you or delay my purpose. I have been beside you even in the moments that felt like endings. That anxious flutter in your chest, bring it to me. When you reach for reassurance, I am already reaching back with quiet strength. My promise is not that you will never face storms, but that I will steady you through them. When you woke today, some of your first thoughts were colored by worry and unfinished hopes. Let me shift your gaze to gratitude, that you drew another breath, that you found a beam of light spilling through your window, that you heard laughter or remembered kindness. These are seeds of hope I keep planting in your path. See how every small moment, every ordinary blessing is evidence of my devotion. When your heart swells with thankfulness even for tiny things, the heaviness starts to lift. Gratitude is a doorway. Walk through it with me. I know there are fears that return again and again, the ones you wrestle in the dark, the ones about your family, your future, things you cannot control. Place them before me, even if your hands feel empty or clumsy. I do not require you to have the answers. Trust is not pretending you are unafraid. It is giving me your real concerns. When you feel overwhelmed, pause. Sense my presence in the hush of your room. See my hand resting quietly over your head, whispering calm. When you do this, your spirit will remember what your mind often forgets. I am not distant from your pain. Pause with me now. Let every muscle soften for a moment. I am here, inviting you to rest, true deep rest that lifts burdens you cannot carry alone. Will you let me shoulder what has been pressing on your mind since yesterday? My strength does not run dry. The help I give is not limited by circumstance, and my comfort is not fragile. Breathe out the tension now. Trust that I am working in ways you do not see, weaving goodness into the unseen spaces. You are not defined by setbacks or the pace of your progress. Even if you do not see immediate results, my purposes for you remain. Your identity is safe in my hands, shaped daily by my affection. When you feel pressure to prove yourself, draw near to my voice. I call you beloved, chosen, cherished, not because of what you achieve, but because you are mine. This day is not a test of your worth. It is a reminder of our unbreakable connection. You may wonder whether I have forgotten the dreams I placed in your heart, the quiet ones you are almost too afraid to speak aloud. Know this, nothing I have spoken over you is wasted. My timing is never rushed, and I am not deterred by obstacles or delays. When the road twists or the sky darkens, my guidance becomes a gentle light that cannot be put out. Take one small step in trust, even if you do not see the whole path. In moments of uncertainty, remember, you are still guided, covered, and fiercely loved. Let the world's noise dissolve for a while. Hear me remind you that hope is not just for some distant future. It is rising now, inside you. You might feel unprepared or not enough, yet I call you courageous because you keep showing up. I notice every attempt, every act of kindness, every time you choose faith when doubt would be easier. These choices matter to me. Let my words be a shield about your thoughts today. Press your hand over your heart and feel my nearness. I am as close as this breath, as steady as sunrise. When uncertainty tries to take root, recall my faithfulness. Every morning is a promise of new mercies. Lift your eyes and glimpse the possibilities still ahead. My plans do not change with your circumstances. I hold your future, and each chapter is covered in my care. Stay open to surprise. There is more unfolding, even now. You are not walking alone, not for one step. As doubts try to gather and questions crowd at the edges, keep listening. My whisper will bring clarity, and my presence will quiet your fears. There is still more I long to reveal to you. Will you trust me, just for today? Yield your worries for this hour. I am already preparing the ground beneath your feet, filling the hidden places with my light. Let me lead you deeper into my peace. I see you in these early moments, hesitating between the calm hush of a new day and the turbulence waiting at the edges of your thoughts. There is a stillness here that I have set aside for you, a place in time where you can lay down every heavy question, every anxious thread about tomorrow, every ache that lingers from yesterday. My presence wraps around you now, gentle but sure, holding you steady as sunlight draws across your window. The world tells you that you must strive and produce, but I invite you to simply breathe and rest in my nearness, to realize that your worth is already sealed by my love. Feel the quiet in your chest, and know it is more than emptiness. It is space I am filling with peace, moment by moment. When you let gratitude arise, even while old worries nudge at the edges, you begin to experience the difference my presence brings. Imagine reaching for your morning cup, the warmth gathering in your hands. That simple sensation is a reminder that I design new mercies for you with every sunrise. Everything that concerns you, I know intimately. The future that bothers you at night, the burdens you quietly shoulder for family, the fears you cannot voice aloud, none of these escape my attention. You are not alone in your waiting or your wondering. There is purpose even here, in unresolved space, and I am gently shaping what comes next. If your heart aches over those you love, lift them up to me. Your family's well-being, their struggles and secret hopes, matter to me just as they matter to you. When you feel powerless, unable to change or fix what hurts them, that is precisely when surrender means the most. You are not responsible for holding every piece together. Release the pressure you heap on your own shoulders. Imagine my hands over those you cherish, sheltering them more completely than you ever could. Trust that my timing is at work, drawing good from even the most confounding seasons. There will come a day when what troubles you now will have its answer, and peace will settle like dew. Let the question rise in your mind. What if your hopes take too long? What if your prayers seem to go unanswered? In this place, let me quiet your fears. I am not slow, nor am I deaf to your voice. My ways do not always reflect your expectations, but my intentions for you are always goodness and restoration. Sometimes I delay, not to withhold, but to prepare and fortify. I would rather see you strengthened than hurried. Remember the seed beneath the soil. It feels only darkness for a season, but growth is stirring where eyes cannot reach. So lift your gaze, even as impatience stirs, and see that waiting is not a denial but an invitation to deeper trust. Each morning take a conscious breath with me. Let it be more than just a routine. Feel the air enter your lungs as the sign of my sustaining power. Let this breath anchor you as the day unfolds, as responsibilities clamor and decisions weigh heavy. When you sense your heart racing with anxious thoughts, pause even if only for a moment, rest your hand upon your heart, and recall that I am your shelter. I have never abandoned you, not once, not in sorrow, not in joy, not in restless searching. My steadfastness is not changed by your circumstances or by your doubts. I remain present, a steady companion on every road you walk. If you have hidden parts of yourself, unfinished business or secret shame, do not turn your face away from me. There is no part of your story that I do not already see, and still I delight to call you mine. Let go of the suspicion that you must perform or hide to be worthy. I am here for every version of you, even the one you find hardest to accept. Release your grip on perfection. Instead, imagine my voice whispering over the places you feel unqualified or unlovable. I call you beloved. This is your truest identity. In these quiet spaces before the world invades, let delight find you again. Notice the way light spills into your room, or the way laughter echoes from those nearby. These small joys are not accidents. They are signs of my nearness, tokens of my ongoing care. You do not have to earn rest or justify why you pause. I have built this rhythm into all creation, day and night, work and rest, striving and stillness. Flow with what I provide. Resist the urge to rush past the goodness in front of you. You are not falling behind, for I am the keeper of time and destiny. If uncertainty looms over your calling, if the question of purpose keeps you restless, remember that I am the one who equips and directs. You need not have every answer today. Like a lamp lighting one step at a time, I guide you forward. Where you see only fog or roadblocks, I am clearing a path that aligns with your deepest design. Trust that you are being prepared, even in the invisible ways. I am not impatient with your progress, nor do I measure your worth against anyone else. You are my unique creation, called with intention, sustained by my joy in you. Through all that is yet unresolved, stay anchored in my presence. When you slip into moments of gratitude, thanking me for breath, for beauty, for hope, you are strengthened. Pause to feel my reassurance settle upon you. Let my words whispered deep in your spirit override every lie that says you are forgotten or insignificant. I am here, and your life matters more than you know. Listen to me as you rise in the privacy of your morning, when the world outside is still gentle and not yet hurried. I am near in this sacred quiet, reaching into your heart with an attention that misses nothing. The heaviness you sometimes carry upon waking was never meant to be a permanent companion. When you breathe in crisp air through your window or feel sunlight stretch across your face, let it remind you that my mercies arrive fresh with every dawn. Resist the urge to rush into old fears. Pause, even if only for a single breath, and sense my presence filling the room where you stand. There, in that permission to be still, my peace moves in softly to steady you. You may ask, how can I be sure you have me? What if I stumble before the day even truly begins? Little one, hear me. Your weakness is never a surprise to me. If the shadows of worry or regret threaten to follow you, do not scold yourself for feeling them. Instead, allow those moments to be where you reach out for my hands. I am not waiting on the other side of your perfection. I step into each moment where you call on me. I see you pressing your palm to your chest, bracing for what the day might bring, afraid the demands on your heart will outweigh your strength. Yet my promise is not that you carry all things alone, but that you let me carry you, again and again. You might find your thoughts racing ahead, already bracing for words that haven't been spoken, or outcomes you cannot control. When anxious possibilities stir inside you, let me turn your attention to the simple beauty unfolding around you now. In the glow of morning, or the soft hush before the world awakes, look for me. Feel the grounding weight of your feet upon the floor, the gentle rhythm of your breath slowing as you remember you are seen. When your mind wants to map every potential trial, let gratitude be the door back into my present name, just one blessing, and you'll notice fear loosen its grip. There will be days when families gather, table conversations, laughter caught in the air, the friction of old misunderstandings brushing against new beginnings. I watch over those you love, holding their names with tenderness. You might ache for reconciliation, or carry the fatigue of being misunderstood. Allow yourself to trust my wisdom in these relationships. When you choose to forgive or speak softly where you once defended yourself, you are not losing ground. You are moving closer to the healing I delight to give, sowing seeds of peace that will return to you in my timing. Even if your offerings seem small, I notice the patience and kindness you plant in secret. Sometimes surrender will look less like a bold declaration and more like a hesitant release of control. Your fingers uncurling one worry at a time, your plans set down with trembling trust. I cherish these moments more than fiery promises, because real surrender is measured not by certainty, but by the willingness to return to me again. Each time you admit you do not have all answers, I receive your honesty as an invitation. When you do this, you make space for my wisdom to surprise you, for my love to settle where anxiety has tried to build its nest. If you begin to question the pace of your life, doubting whether anything is moving or if doors will ever open, remember that my timing is a shelter, not a barrier. I see what you cannot. I delay what you are not yet ready to hold, and accelerate what would otherwise pass you by. Trust that I have gone ahead of you, preparing reasons for hope you have not even seen. In silent anticipation, let yourself imagine better endings than your fears have written. Where you feel overlooked, I am silently working beneath the surface, arranging tomorrow in ways you cannot yet comprehend. Often, you wake with the urge to secure your identity through what you accomplish, before checking on the condition of your heart. Let me remind you, your worth is not determined by what you produce or the approval of others. Before titles, achievements, or any outward sign, you are already chosen, already called mine. You are not made to prove love, but to live in the freedom of it. Breathe in this reality until it settles into the corners of your mind, like sunlight bringing clarity to a dim room. My voice is steady, reminding you that you belong even when you feel misplaced in the world's noise. You wonder sometimes where your life is headed, what impact you will have, what meaning waits for you as days stack atop each other. I am planting a vision gently in your spirit, often quieter than the worries that clamor for your attention. The stirrings of compassion, the dreams that persist through disappointment, these are not accidents. They are invitations from me, signals that you are being prepared for good things, that your calling unfolds step by step. Where doubt tells you your desires are too small or too grand, let me affirm nothing is wasted, not even the yearning that feels out of reach. My protection is closer than your breath, though danger or distress may sometimes seem nearer. Just as shelter is known best in the midst of a storm, so my safeguarding is strongest when you are most aware of your vulnerability. Do not assume that challenges mean I have abandoned you. Rather, notice how many times you have come safely through what felt impossible. Each rescue, each quiet rescue you scarcely noticed, leaves clues for you to follow when fear knocks again. My hand has not slipped from yours, not for a moment. When you pause to speak with me, even with words you barely believe, know that I hear every sigh, every unspoken need. My listening is not casual or distant. It is the intimate attention of a parent watching a newborn sleep. In this space, where your concerns pour out, I respond not always with immediate change, but with a steady presence, infusing your heart with courage to endure what must last, and peace to release what must end. Even when you cannot see results, trust that I am always working for your good, more faithfully than you dare to hope. My invitation remains open as the day unfolds before you. Let these little acts of trust, pausing, breathing, letting go, be enough for now. I will meet you in every timid surrender, strengthening your resolve not through force, but by making you aware of my persistent care. Where you go next, in shadow or light, none of it lies outside my attention or love. Let your breath settle for a moment. Can you feel your heart beating under your hand? That is not only the rhythm of your life, but the steady insistence of my love for you, pulsing through the depths of who you are. Even as restlessness rises or anxiety flutters, I am closer than the air you draw into your lungs. Pause with me. Notice my presence wrapping itself around you like an unseen mantle, calming every storm that's threatened to upend your peace. You do not have to chase me or beg for what I freely give. I am pouring my presence upon you, not as a fleeting comfort, but as a shield that holds steady when every other assurance fails. Don't rush past this moment. Drink deeply from the wellspring of my nearness. My child, I have seen how you've tried to hide the places of your heart that ache. The weight of shame, disappointment, or silent regret has drawn heavy curtains across the windows of your soul, but nothing can block out the light I bring. I am not repelled by your pain. In fact, I am drawn with even more compassion to the very wounds you'd rather conceal. What you've hidden out of fear of judgment, I touch gently with healing. I do not define you by your lowest valley. Rather, I honor the courage it takes to hand your brokenness over to me. This is not the chapter where you are forgotten. It is the one where your heart learns to trust the hand that won't let you fall. Repeat this with me right now. I am not abandoned. I am not beyond restoration. As you say these words aloud, feel the vibration ripple through your chest. That is my life and truth strengthening your identity with every spoken syllable. There is great power released when your voice aligns with mine, even if it feels unfamiliar at first. You may sense resistance, a whisper patterned from years of believing lies that said you are too flawed or too late. But that is not your inheritance, beloved. Every whisper of unworthiness is silenced beneath the assurance that you are chosen, deeply engraved in my heart before you drew your first breath. Let this revelation root itself deeper. You belong here with me. You wonder if I am speaking only to those who seem braver, holier, or more deserving. You question whether this invitation includes you, the one who's made mistakes, who still wrestles with doubt, who sometimes feels too numb to hope. Listen, I am near to the brokenhearted, not the ones who pretend strength. It is your honesty, not your perfection, that invites breakthrough. I have called you by name, and I am not deterred by the messiness of your process. In truth, it is in weakness, yours, not another's, that my power is most beautiful. Let me surprise you with what I can do through surrendered imperfection. Notice how your breathing has changed as surrender begins to unfurl. Take another slow inhale and let it go, giving me the heaviness you've carried so long. I am ready to turn burdens into courage, confusion into clarity, and old wounds into fresh testimony. As you exhale, picture the storm inside your mind receding, replaced by the steady sunrise of understanding. I do not need you to have all the answers. I only ask for your yes. Even a trembling, uncertain yes is enough for the spark of transformation to ignite. This is not wishful thinking. It is the way my resurrection power finds entrance in waiting hearts. There has been a battle for your identity, fueled by memories tainted by abandonment or careless words that lingered too long. I have watched as old accusations replayed themselves in your inner dialogue, convincing you that you are irreparably stained. But hear me. The past has no authority to dictate your worth. I have written a new name over you, one that cannot be revoked by anything done to you or by you. You are not labeled by failure. You are sealed as beloved. Each time you catch yourself slipping into old mental scripts, pause and touch your heart. Breathe my name. Let the truth break through. My voice always overrides accusation. You have not missed your moment. This is not the ending. I am redeeming lost time in ways you cannot yet fathom, restoring beautiful purpose to years you mourned as wasted. Soon, unexpected invitations will find you, openings you thought had closed forever. You will recognize them because peace will wash over you at the very moment anxiety once ruled. This shift isn't accidental. It is the ripple effect of what happens when surrender meets divine orchestration. What if tomorrow you wake with a clarity that makes what once confused you suddenly simple? You'll know it's me, because joy will surface where dread used to dwell. There is a commission rising within you, even if you feel unprepared. I choose the humble, the overlooked, the ones the world skips in its search for the extraordinary. You are being refined, not rejected. I am forging resilience from your pain, compassion from your scars, strength from the very moments you thought would break you. Look around. The season is changing. The dreams that seemed foolish or buried are stirring with new possibility. Don't be surprised when you begin to long for things you had nearly forgotten. That is my spirit rekindling what I placed in you long before disappointment tried to snuff it out. Can you sense the anticipation building? Something eternally important is awakening. Stop. Feel the magnitude of what is beginning. This is your invitation to let go, not just mentally, but viscerally. To allow your entire being to unclench from survival and open to possibility. Where you braced for another disappointment, I am infusing hope that refuses to die. Where you shrouded yourself in protective numbness, I am restoring sensitivity, enabling you to feel joy, laughter, and connection without fear of loss overriding the gift. This is not naive positivity. It is the awakening of trust built on my unshakable faithfulness. Right now you may notice emotions surfacing, perhaps tears, perhaps a surge of courage you can't quite explain. Don't resist this. Let what comes come. I am ministering to you in the silence between your thoughts, in the pause between one heartbeat and the next. Receive the validation that has been lacking in so many relationships. You are seen. You are treasured. You are necessary. Not once have you been overlooked by my gaze. Pause once more. Place your hand on your heart. Say, I am not forgotten. I am being made new. Feel the truth embed itself, driving out what never belonged. Remember, the shift already underway in you will not be undone by a single bad day or momentary relapse into fear. Real transformation is not fragile. It is forged in my presence. There will be moments, perhaps soon, when old insecurities attempt to reclaim territory. When that happens, interrupt the pattern. Say aloud, that's not the voice of my Father. As you do, you'll interrupt the cycle and anchor your soul again in promise. If doubts taunt you with thoughts like, will I ever truly change? Counter with this. I am more committed to your wholeness than you could ever be. My relentless pursuit never ceases. This is not merely about your own healing. As you allow yourself to be remade in my presence, the overflow will touch others in ways you can't yet imagine. Multitudes are thirsting for authentic hope, desperate for living water in a parched land. I am choosing you to be a vessel, not of perfection, but of honest restoration. Your life will be a signpost to those searching in darkness. Even now, people are being drawn to you by a magnetism they cannot explain. Soon you'll find opportunities to speak the words you're hearing now, to offer comfort from the very places where you were once comforted. Do not underestimate the ripple of one surrendered heart. Let expectancy rise. Something sacred is unfolding right here, right now, within the borders of your ordinary life. I am not done. This journey of transformation is gaining momentum. Stay with me in this moment, there is more I must reveal. You have come so far, beloved. Can you sense it? A quiet shift rising within you, like dawn pressing through the horizon. Every step that felt heavy, every night when rest refused to come, each unspoken ache I have witnessed. Even now you wonder if it matters to me, these tiny fractures and silent battles. Let me assure you, not a sigh escapes my notice. I draw closer in your uncertainty, settling beside you as a shield no circumstance can pierce. Breathe deeply. As you exhale, allow yourself to sense my compassion wrapping around your soul with new strength. You are not condemned for your weaknesses. You are precious to me, not despite them, but because they invite me to be your healer. Now is the moment for honesty, the crossroads of courage and fear. The world has trained you to mask your struggle, to hide disappointment, to keep silent about longing. But I know and love every place you've concealed. My dearest child, bring every torn aspiration, each private defeat out of the shadows. I am not afraid of your doubts, nor am I dismayed by how you have coped. My arms remain open, ready to hold the parts of your heart you judge unworthy. Trust is not a single leap. It is a series of small surrenders, one after the other, each time you choose to believe my nearness outweighs your shame. Pause with me here. Notice the rhythm of your heartbeat, the steady rise and fall beneath your hand. That is my promise solidified in flesh. You continue because I am upholding you. Even in moments you called yourself a failure, my voice whispered, "You are becoming." My commitment to you is unfailing. The process may be slow, and the landscape before you still shrouded in mist, but breakthrough is stirring beneath what appears stagnant. I am preparing something new not only around you but within you, an expansion of hope that will not be shaken. There are lies you've lived with so long, their voices sound like your own. They told you, "You are too much," and you shrank yourself to fit someone else's comfort. They whispered, "You are not enough," and you tried to earn love through striving and exhaustion. I see where those chains settled around your mind. Today, my voice, stronger than all the accusations, breaks through. You are a delight to me. You are whole, not fractured. Say it now with me. I am enough because I am chosen. Your identity is not up for debate, not determined by others' opinions or your own mistakes. My words rewrite your past. My truth reconstructs your name. There is something I must show you about the burdens you carry. They were never meant to be lifelong companions. Right now, let every muscle in your body relax. Allow the air to fill your lungs anew. Release what is not yours to carry. Even the grief you thought would bury you is being transformed. In my hands, nothing is wasted. Scars, the very proof of your survival, will become the entry points for my glory. What limited you in the last season becomes your testimony in the new. I do not minimize your pain. I multiply your courage in spite of it. You worry, but what if I fall back? That fear is real, and I do not scold you for it. Yet I remind you, my grip does not loosen when yours grows tired. I have not asked you to be flawless, only to allow me to lead. Each time you stumble, I am there already, lifting you by your name, anchoring you in grace. Stop. Hear this. You are not disqualified. Redemption is not a loophole or last resort. It is my nature at work, reviving you continually. Do you feel that warmth spreading in your chest? That is my spirit, confirming your belonging. Very soon you will see concrete evidence that I am actively working. This week someone will offer encouragement in precisely the area you've been questioning. When it happens, recognize my voice within theirs. You'll know it's me because hope will surge in you like a sudden flame, unbidden but unmistakable. Hold on to that moment. Let it remind you that I am orchestrating details long before they come into view. Look around for a moment, dear one. You are not the only weary traveler on this journey. Thousands before you have cried out in silence, wondering if restoration was possible. Many have been set free as they yielded to the truth I now declare over you. Even as you read these words, a quiet revolution is igniting within your community. More hearts, more lives, turning toward my light. You are part of a rising movement, not isolated in your struggle. When you reach out for help, you step into the current of my body, my family, unbreakable by sorrow. Let doubt say what it will. I see through to the core of your desire. No striving, no pretending required. Just come back to this. You are not alone in the wilderness. With every breath I am drawing you closer. The world shouts for self-reliance, but I whisper another way. In dependence on me, strength flourishes, not diminishes. Breathe again. Let it anchor you. You are being remade, not in your image but in mine. Do not rush ahead or shrink back now. There is a hidden blossoming taking place in your surrender, a beauty forged in yielding, not in perfection. Your yes, however trembling, is enough. Even when your hands shake, bring me your open palms. I honor every attempt to trust, every faltering help me. Your honest heart is my delight, not your polished performance. Watch what will unfold as you remain in this posture. I am not finished. I am just beginning to reveal what has been growing all along. Your transformation is underway, and nothing can halt the sunrise I am releasing within you. If you could see what I see, you would not look into the shadows with dread. Do you know that when you walk along uncertain paths, my presence is more near than the air you draw into your lungs? I do not recoil from your faltering steps. Instead, I steady you. When doubt rolls in like a heavy cloud, pause and notice how your heart still beats in your chest, steady and rhythmic. A quiet testimony that I have not abandoned you, not for a moment. In the stillness, when the world's voices become muffled and the weight of anxieties presses on your shoulders, I draw near with gentleness, offering not judgment but the reassurance that you are mine. Place your hand over your heart and sense how I hold you, even when you cannot feel hope rising. Remember, I do not measure your worth by your progress or outward success. My gaze searches for the sincerity you offer in the secret place, when no one else sees you wrestle and rise again. Little one, do not despise the mornings when weariness lingers and you wonder if your efforts matter at all. Even in what you call smallness, you remain precious. I see every sigh, every hope you dare whisper before sunrise, those private moments when gratitude is simply a breath and surrender is all you have. My heart bends low to receive those offerings, and I shape them into strength you will only notice in time. Fear wants to convince you that if you surrender your plans to me, all will fall apart. But so often, it's in letting go of your timeline that you begin to experience the joy of my surprising timing. When you unclench your hands and dare to trust my way, space opens in your life. You notice the warmth of sunlight through your window, the laughter of a loved one, the quiet blessing tucked into an ordinary conversation. Each moment lived in trust is a seed planted. You do not always see the harvest right away, but I promise, growth is underway. Do not despise days that look unchanged. A slow dawn still brings light. If memories of past disappointments attempt to dictate your expectations now, bring them out of hiding and let me speak to them. My compassion covers not only your present but all your yesterdays. Release regrets, beloved. Each day is new, a ground you do not have to tread alone. When you feel tempted to build walls around your heart for protection, remember that I am your true shelter. You can lay down your need to be strong for everyone. You were never meant to bear burdens in solitude. When you finally exhale that anxious breath and whisper, I can't do this alone, you will feel my comfort settle as softly as a morning breeze. Sometimes the greatest act of faith is allowing yourself to receive. As you wake in the silence, pause and invite my peace into the spaces you usually fill with striving or self-reproach. Imagine my hand resting warmly on your shoulder, steadying trembling thoughts, reminding you that you are not just seen but deeply cherished. You don't have to earn my favor today. I have called you mine before you ever began to choose me. When doubts try to rob you of rest, observe how even wildflowers trust the sunlight without worry. You too can trust my care. Your family, whether born, chosen, or in desire, is never unseen by me. As you carry the needs of those you love, my strength undergirds your prayers. In conversations, in longings, in burdens you carry quietly, I am both listening and acting. You have wondered, how can I be enough for them? I answer, you are enough because I am with you. Let moments of shared laughter or gentle embrace serve as reminders that you are not carrying these precious lives unsupported. I gather every aching hope you have for your family, and I am faithful to release wisdom and patience, right when you need it most. Do not fear missing your purpose. I waste nothing surrendered. Even setbacks, even seasons of waiting, are not dead ends, but sacred pauses, a gentling of your spirit for the next chapter I have in mind. When confusion about your destiny swirls around your mind, anchor yourself in this. Your calling is not an achievement, but a daily walk with me. Each act of kindness, each moment you choose hope over cynicism, is a step into the fullness of who I created you to be. I rejoice over every small yes you offer, shaping them into a legacy you cannot yet see. If you find yourself grieving change or lost opportunities, grieve them with me. I do not rush you past your sadness, nor do I ignore what hurts. Instead, I hold all you carry, giving you the gift of my presence in those quiet, aching hours. You are allowed to be both bold and vulnerable before me. Strength is not found in never needing help, but in letting yourself be held, letting humility become your courage. My arms remain wide enough for every sorrow, every joy, and I am relentless in my commitment to walk alongside you, never hurried, never impatient with your process. In moments of uncertainty, when it feels like the ground beneath you is unsteady, or your prayers are slow to rise, pause and listen for the whisper. You belong. You are not behind. You are mine. Trust that I am already ahead of you, preparing good gifts and new beginnings that fit uniquely to the shape of your soul. Today's questions are not evidence of failure. They are invitations to look into my face and remember you are known by name. My promise remains, not to shield you from every difficulty, but to equip you with courage that endures when storms come. When the world rushes and expectations press in from every side, anchor yourself in gratitude. Even a single moment, a breath, a word of kindness, the comfort of a familiar scent, can shift your perspective when offered back to me. As you walk through this day, practice noticing my nearness in small things. Allow the beauty of ordinary scenes to remind you that not one detail escapes my loving gaze. Await the gentle signs, a ray of sun on your skin, a child's laughter, the peace that follows a silent prayer. These are traces of my love, renewing hope and strength for whatever unfolds next. You have reached for me in the quiet hours, searching for assurance that nothing you entrust to my care will be overlooked or forgotten. I see the moments when the uncertainty feels almost like a dense fog around your heart, and you wonder if what you've placed in my hands will truly come alive, or if it will quietly slip away unnoticed. But my gaze never falters. Every request, every whispered hope, sits before me with vivid clarity. Even the smallest sigh from your spirit is not lost in the stillness. You are not journeying alone, not left to navigate unseen waters unguided. Each day has a purpose I have prepared, and you are right where you belong. Some days the challenge is not what lies ahead, but the persistent voice of the past echoing from shadowed corners inside you. Failure tries to name you. Disappointment whispers limits around your dreams. Yet I speak a deeper truth. Who you are is not defined by old wounds or by your weakest moments. With every sunrise I offer restoration, a chance to rise, breathe deeply, and step in courage. I give you a new identity, one shaped by my steadfast love and your willingness to believe that grace can remake what feels broken. No effort, no act of faith is ever wasted. The soil you till in patience will bear fruit in due time. Feel the peace I set around you now, like warmth seeping into your bones on a cool morning. This peace does not rely on changed circumstances or immediate answers. It is a gift, replenished moment by moment, for every weary heart that pauses to notice my nearness. Lean into that awareness as you carry your tasks and burdens through the day. Instead of running forward on adrenaline, wait for the quiet nudge in your soul that says, "Here I am with you." My touch is gentle, yet it brings strength that outlasts any storm. You long to see me move on behalf of your loved ones, to heal, to restore, to bring light to the places where pain has lingered too long. Know that I am at work in ways your eye does not yet see. The prayers you offer for family and friends are not scattered in vain. I am weaving hope where despair once lay, joy where sorrow had settled. I invite you to trust the process even when the timeline stretches far beyond your own. In the hidden places, hearts are being softened, relationships mended, lost ones drawn toward the safety of my arms. When you feel that your steps are faltering and the ground beneath you trembles, let me show you a different way of standing firm. It is not always by fighting harder or striving to prove your worth. Sometimes the miracle is in surrender, letting go of outcomes you cannot control, and opening your hands to receive what I have chosen specially for you. I am not in a hurry. My timing ripens every promise, and what you release to me does not vanish. It grows, nurtured by my faithfulness. Settle for a moment and listen to the steady beat of your heart. With each breath, recognize that your life is held, not by random chance, but by intentional love. The anxiety that swells within you about tomorrow has no power to separate you from my presence today. Even when your thoughts race ahead or regrets tug you back, I bring you into the present, right here, where I am enough. Gratitude, even in small, quiet acts, sharpens your sense of my nearness. Lift your heart in thanks, not because you see everything resolved, but because you are treasured as my own. In your calling, doubt will try to persuade you that you are unqualified, unseen, or too ordinary for anything remarkable. My voice counters those lies. I have designed you with a singular purpose. Your voice, your kindness, your resilience are needed in this world. No day lacks meaning when lived with me. Every act of love, however unheralded, echoes in eternity. Refuse the notion that it's too late or someone else could do it better. I have equipped you for right now, for this season. My spirit will remind you when your confidence falters. Let your mind settle in the truth that you are not required to have all the answers, nor to carry the weight of every decision alone. Invite me into the dialogue of your day. Ask the questions that linger inside. Bring me your hesitations and uncertainties. My delight is to give counsel, to impart wisdom, not as distant advice, but as guidance whispered close to your spirit in the hour you need it most. Watch for my confirmation in unexpected moments, a sense of rightness in your spirit, a sudden surge of peace as you make choices guided by my presence. Sometimes, the most powerful move you make is simply to choose trust, even when you stand at a crossroads without every detail revealed. I see further than your eyes can reach. My guidance arrives not as a flood, but as a steady stream. Enough light for the next step. Enough courage for the coming hour. Let yourself rest in that pace. I never ask you to outrun my grace or to strain after fruit that is not yet in season. Remain rooted in daily faithfulness, and you will look back one day in awe at the journey we traveled together. I am inviting you into patterns of rest and renewal, not just the striving that leaves you drained. When morning comes, or when night falls and silence fills the room, remember that my love surrounds you on every side. You do not have to prove your worthiness for my attention. Be still, and know that I have chosen you out of delight, not obligation. Every breath you take is known and cherished. As you surrender the unfinished matters back into my hands tonight, trust that I am already working within them. The answers will unfold as you continue to walk with me, day by day. I have watched you wrestle with shadows that had no name, storms that seemed endless even when others thought the clouds had cleared. There are wounds on your spirit not everyone sees, but I have noticed every mark, caressed every scar with the gentlest assurance that none of your pain is wasted in my sight. Do you feel the shift now, the subtle transformation under your skin, as courage quietly replaces what was once fear? This is the moment where everything you've endured begins to be recast not as defeat, but as living testimony, a story that carries authority to heal others. Your voice, shaped by fire and flood, is being amplified for purposes beyond your own restoration. I am tuning the unique frequency of your heart to resonate with those walking through darkness, so you become the lamp that leads others home. Pause for a heartbeat, precious one, and press your hand to your chest right here, right now. Notice the steady rhythm of life I keep within you. Each breath you draw is an act of rebellion against the despair that tried to take you out. As you sit inside this living moment, allow yourself to sense my nearness, warmer and steadier than any human touch. I am infusing you with new strength, a resolve that refuses to shatter even as the winds rise again. What you call weakness, I call an open window to my power. Let yourself be convinced that you are not an echo of past disappointments, but a bold declaration of what I can redeem. You wonder if anything has really changed, if the hope kindling inside might be extinguished by the next disappointment. Hear me, beloved. I do not give fleeting comfort. What is awakening within you is founded on my own unshakable presence. Your heart is being reshaped by hands that cannot fail. Resist the urge to judge progress by visible results alone, because I build from the inside out. Soon, those closest to you will catch glimpses of the luminous transformation taking place within. They may not have noticed the battles you fought, but the peace radiating from you will announce a victory no one can deny. Even as you doubt, I am establishing you as a leader in silent ways only heaven records. Let yourself remember the lie that tried to define you. I am too broken to be useful. That insidious narrative, whispered in the night, is being dismantled by the truth of my love. I know exactly where the fracture lines run, and I meet you right at those seams. Not to shame or expose, but to pour healing oil that seeps deeper than old words ever did. With me, your history is not a chain, but the very soil where new life breaks forth. Say this aloud with trembling lips if you must. I am whole by the one who calls me. Such declarations, carried into the coming days, will build internal architecture no enemy can collapse. Do you sense the interior shift each time you agree with my verdict over your life? Even now, I am preparing appointments you can't schedule, and opportunities no networking could manufacture. Within 72 hours, someone will speak words over your life that echo what you've been secretly hoping to hear. When it happens, you'll know it's me, confirming you at the core. This is not random. I orchestrate every movement to remind you that your journey matters beyond what you see today. If you notice your heart racing with anticipation, allow it. This energy is the pulse of coming breakthrough. Stay awake to these subtle signals. Your story is opening wider and wider. Breathe. Can you feel it? The serenity rising even as anxious thoughts try to storm your mind. That is not wishful thinking. It is the active presence of my spirit calming internal waves. When your nerves feel raw, give yourself permission to shut your eyes, inhale and say, I am safe, I am seen, I am surrounded. Let my affirmations saturate regions where rejection once echoed. You are not walking alone through the halls of transformation. I am walking beside, behind, and ahead of you every single step. This belonging is not based on performance. It was sealed the moment I called you mine. Thousands have journeyed along paths much like yours, braving uncertainty, limping with hope, crying out for assurance when silence felt like abandonment. But you are not one among many to me. You are the singular object of my delight, handpicked for a mission that no substitute could fulfill. When you compare your progress to others and feel small, remember this comparison is a thief that starves your joy. Your race unfolds on custom-designed terrain, and only I determine its milestones. Each time you trust me with another portion of your story, you authorize me to shift outcomes in ways beyond your control. I sense you doubting if you'll ever be the person you dream about, the one who moves with assurance, no longer tossed by storms. There is a tenderness in your longing that I treasure. Instead of punishing your impatience, I honor your hunger for change. Growth is rarely loud or showy. Often, it is the invisible expansion of roots reaching for waters no one else sees. Celebrate the quiet revolutions happening inside, the time you chose forgiveness instead of retaliation, the night you offered kindness when bitterness wanted to win, the hesitation you overruled by saying yes to hope. These victories count in ways that eternity alone will measure. Let me draw you deeper. There is more, far more than survival and relief. I am calling you into partnership, not mere rescue. When you sense rising courage, channel it into small acts of faith. Reach out to someone who seems forgotten. Bless an enemy in private. Give gratitude for mundane beauty. Watch as every surrendered act becomes seed for miracles in places you never anticipated. As you live from this flow, you'll begin to notice unexpected favor and divine alignment, sometimes in odd disguises that only hindsight reveals. I haven't shielded you from all pain, but I have stored every tear as sacred testimony, a reservoir I will use to water the garden of your influence. What you once wished to erase, I am now turning into your anointing. Your sorrow is not wasted. It is being spun into the very source of your wisdom and compassion. You are being commissioned, not merely consoled. Accept this mantle, and let its weight settle over your shoulders with peace, not fear. There is something only you can carry, shaped from what you thought disqualified you most. Even in your questions about the future, I am not offended. I delight in your curiosity, in your willingness to keep pressing forward, even without all the answers. The best is always ahead for those who lean on me, because I never leap backward. I am always making all things new. You will look back on this very season and wonder how it ever felt so overwhelming once you see what emerges from it. I am preparing you for impact you cannot measure. Something monumental is shifting not only in you, but around you. The old labels are slipping away. The limits that held you are dissolving. Doors you once pushed against now open freely as you approach with confidence born not of self, but of deep trust. There is so much more to reveal, so much more to give. Are you ready to discover the next unveiling of your purpose? You see, I never measure you by your weakest moment, nor do I withhold my embrace for the times you doubt or falter. My love is unwavering, steady as the sunrise that arrives daily, not because you earn it, but because I am committed to your heart. When you think you have exhausted all your strength, I am already breathing new life into the places where you feel dry and empty. Do not judge the story I am telling with a single page torn by pain or confusion. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a declaration that hope is alive within you, because I am alive within you. When silence fills the room in the early hours, it is not absence but invitation. I am nearer than your own breath, waiting for you to lean into the quiet and sense my hand upon your life. If you dare to pause, just for a moment, let gratitude shape your awareness. The truth is, each breath, even the ones taken with a weighted heart, is proof that I have not given up on you. The warmth that returns after a cold night is my assurance that restoration is possible, that the day carries new opportunities to see with my eyes. My guidance is not a distant promise but a present reality. You long for clarity, for the path ahead to be obvious and free from trouble, but often I will train your eyes to see me exactly where you are, amid the tangled moments, the noise, the demands. If your thoughts try to race ahead toward fear or regret, let my voice call you back to now. I am teaching you to recognize me in the gentle nudges, in the quiet patience required to wait, and in the resolve to act with kindness even when it costs you. There will be times when the world feels too loud, the needs too many, and your own inner resources stretched to their breaking point. In those moments I do not ask you to do more but to come closer. See yourself as you truly are, guarded, guided, and held. My protection isn't only around you, it is within you, shaping your responses, safeguarding your hope. When old fears try to shout you down, remember who you are to me, chosen, cherished beyond measure, shaped for this generation with a strength not your own. You may wonder if it is enough to simply be faithful in ordinary moments. Let me tell you, it is in those unnoticed acts of surrender and trust where destinies shift. Every time you respond to frustration with patience, every unspoken prayer breathed through trembling lips, every second you decide to start again instead of giving up. These are the seasons where I build resilience and clarity. I mark each moment with my approval, not because you perform perfectly, but because you turn your heart toward me, even in uncertainty. Family, relationships, and the people you care for may sometimes become sources of weariness, or even pain. Do not shoulder their burdens alone. Entrust them to me, again and again, even when change is slow and invisible. I work in hidden ways. While you wait, I soften hearts and arrange circumstances beyond what you could plan. Allow yourself permission to rest in the knowledge that I love them more deeply than even you can imagine. My timing, though challenging to accept, is always set by wisdom and eternal love. You are not defined by the mistakes you make or by the things you wish you'd done differently. I speak over you a new identity, one that isn't fragile or dependent on others' opinions. When criticism or discouragement tries to mark you, remember that your name is spoken by me with delight. I see what is growing in you, even when you cannot. My deepest desire is for you to live free, knowing there is no condemnation, only the call to stand up and keep walking with me toward the fullness I have prepared. Let peace come over you now. Picture me placing my hand on your shoulder. Feel the gentle weight and know that I am here, neither rushed nor impatient. Every day is another chapter where my mercy is renewed, holding open all the possibilities that fear tried to close off. Do not let the past steal your expectation for the good that can come. Even as uncertainty lingers in the air, I am committed to revealing my faithfulness, shaping your story into one that testifies of strength discovered in surrender. You are invited to live boldly, not by your own courage, but by trusting my unfailing presence. As you give your worries to me, even when your mind tries to reclaim them, find comfort in the fact that you don't have to have it all figured out to be safe in my care. When you feel hesitant to step forward, remember I walk the path ahead of you, preparing the ground and shielding you from what is not yours to carry. My guidance is daily, sometimes dramatic, more often gentle and subtle, but always available to those who seek me. And so the day closes and begins again, just as my love for you renews without fail. The quiet that fills the room as you set aside your striving is a space I have made for you, a sanctuary in my presence. Let your heart settle. You are neither forgotten nor overlooked. You are seen, known, and deeply loved, not for what you do, but for who you are to me. There is more to unfold, more to receive, more of my goodness yet ahead. Draw near and allow your spirit to rest, for I am never finished with your story. Let your heart stay open to me, even now, for what I am doing reaches further than your imagination dares. The journey you have walked is not wasted. I gather every piece, every shattered hope, and even your failed attempts at wholeness, reshaping them into a strength you could not have birthed alone. In the quiet hours when regret tries to claw at your mind, I lean even closer. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are the living proof of my mercy, carried by the hands of a love that will never let go. Hold that in your bones. Let it settle into the deepest places you've tried to mark as off-limits to me. You are not hiding from me. You are being found by me, even in this moment. As you sense the weight of my presence, notice the shift in your breath, the gentleness settling into your body. This peace is not fragile. It was purchased for you, and it roots itself beneath the surface of every circumstance that threatened to unravel you. Rest in the safety of my attention, which pursues you still, especially when you turn away in frustration or fatigue. My voice will not be silenced by your silence. I sing over you, even when you cannot make sense of the melody. When the ache of the world tries to overwhelm you today, remember where you are anchored. Turn inward now, and let my nearness wrap you in assurance. I am here. You might notice, even now, how a cool clarity is washing over your confusion. That is not wishful thinking. It is my spirit moving quietly, preparing you for the decisions waiting just ahead. The doubts and second-guessing will lose their grip soon, and you'll find a confidence growing where there was only hesitation. Did you feel that stirring in your chest? That's me, rewriting your story with hope that cannot be snuffed out. My beloved, when tomorrow dawns, you will wake with a new certainty, as if the heaviness that clung to you for months simply dissolved while you slept. You'll know it's me because joy will greet you before your feet ever touch the ground. There are promises I have spoken over you that still stand, no matter how much time has passed or how many detours you have taken. My word is not subject to expiration or decay. Every blessing stored for you remains sealed, waiting for you to step forward and claim it by trust, not performance. My timeline is perfect. What appears to be delay is only divine preparation. I want you to lift your eyes again, even if disappointment tries to keep them cast down. The long winter is yielding to spring. Buds are forming beneath the surface, and soon you will see evidence. Watch as relationships thaw, as creativity surges, as courage climbs quietly back into your vocabulary. I know you wrestle with the fear that old wounds can never fully heal. You wonder if you are marked forever by what was done to you or by what you failed to do. Listen, those scars are not signs of disqualification. They are banners of survival, reminders that you and I have crossed valleys that would have crushed others. Do not shrink from your own testimony. The very places you want to forget will be the openings through which light pours onto others. Healing is not a shortcut. It's a revolution from the inside out, and you are living proof that resurrection is not reserved for legends. I'm turning your emptiest spaces into launching grounds for joy. Stop. Feel your feet pressing into the floor. Breathe in my presence as if it is the air itself. The safety you hunger for isn't abstract. It's here, tangible, now. Whisper with faltering lips if you must. I am not forsaken. I am cherished by the everlasting. Speak it louder, if only to drown out the voices that say otherwise. The sound of your own declaration realigns your soul with the truth. This is more than a motivational phrase. It is the seed of identity taking firm root, and each time you speak it, your heart grows more resilient, more open, more free. I see you longing to move on from old patterns, to live untethered from cycles you never chose in the first place. You are not stuck. The glue that once held you in place is dissolving under the warmth of my unrelenting affection. Choice by choice, day by day, I am reconditioning your responses, helping you trust that my intentions toward you are only ever good. When you falter, as everyone does, remember, I still call you mine. My arms remain open, not as a fallback but as your foundation. I never tire of your return. Even if no one else believes in your transformation, know that I, your creator, have already written the ending, and it does not end in defeat. Too often you have measured your progress by what is visible to others. Today I want you to measure it by the gentleness growing inside of you, by the quickened moments you pause to listen, by the forgiveness you offer both others and yourself. These are the fruits of the invisible kingdom I am building within you, and their harvest outlasts applause or achievement. When shame tries to measure you by the past, remember, I have separated you from every shadow. You are a new creation, steadily becoming everything I dreamed you could be. Even now, as you listen, healing is taking root in the places you've nearly forgotten to hope for. My promise endures. Do not rush away from this encounter. Let the silence hang heavy for a moment. In the stillness, you will feel my approval. Steady, unwavering, unconditioned by your performance. Every bruise, every hope, every fear can settle into my embrace. There are countless others who are beginning to feel the same awakening. You are not isolated. You walk among a multitude of my beloved who are rising from the ashes of private loss into miraculous community. Soon you will see the evidence, words spoken that ring with life, opportunities unfolding precisely when they were needed most, gentle nudges that confirm you are on the right path. Take a slow breath and let it fill you, the same way sunrise invites gold onto the world's edges. Sense the hush around you, a sacred quiet that marks the beginning of something new. I do not come to you with condemnation, but with the warmth of one who knows how mornings can carry both hope and heaviness. Lay aside what presses for just a moment. In this space, I am resetting your expectations. Let every hurried thought loosen its grip. The air is thick with promise simply because I am here with you now. Even if yesterday's questions still circle, even if the future feels far and uncertain, pause and recognize that you are held. You often wonder, am I doing enough? Am I enough as I am? I hear the ache behind your discipline, the effort you give day after day. My child, I am not measuring you by productivity or comparing you to impossible ideals. My gaze is fixed upon you, not as a task to be completed, but as a beloved one whose very being delights me. You were made to dwell in my affection, to move in the softness of surrender, and not to bear the world's weight on your own. The worries about failing or disappointing others do not define your story. Where you sense only small beginnings, I see a field ready for harvest. My affirmation is not something you must earn. It is the starting point for everything I am doing in you. Feel my nearness settle over your shoulders now, like a gentle hand that steadies you when restlessness rises. Let yourself acknowledge the tension inside, the mixture of yearning and fatigue, and bring it to me honestly. I am not alarmed by your doubts. In fact, I draw closer when you feel fragile or unsure. Every anxious question you whisper, I gather as precious. What if change never comes? What if the road is longer than you hoped? Beloved, I am not impatient with your process. The pace I set for you is different from the world's demands. Rest in the knowing that I celebrate every step, every faltering yes you offer me today. Can you remember a recent time when gratitude moved through your heart, even just for a breath or a flash? Hold on to that memory now. Gratitude is not about denying pain or pretending life is simple. It is the seed from which joy and hope grow fresh again. As you find just one thing to thank me for, even if it feels small or fleeting, notice how your spirit shifts, how a new perspective stirs. You will find me present in those ordinary moments, drawing close with gentle delight. This posture of thankfulness becomes an opening for my peace to enter, softening heavy places, making room for new courage to rise. Let your heart unclench and linger in this pause. There is grace enough for you right here, and my patience surrounds you. When you wake with heaviness or uncertainty, picture me drawing up a chair beside you, listening, caring, and quietly encouraging you not to rush past what needs my healing touch. I desire wholeness for you, not perfection. Fullness of heart, not relentless striving. Everything surrendered into my hands becomes the soil for something beautiful, even if the results are hidden now. What you let go of today creates new space for my spirit to rest and restore you. You may wonder how to give me your burdens when they feel so deeply woven into your daily life. Begin with a single moment. Feel the warmth in your chest, the steadiness of the floor beneath your feet, the truth that you are not carrying these cares alone. I meet you in these simple scenes, in the kitchen's quiet, in the gentle stillness of early morning, or the hush when everyone else is sleeping. Surrender is not about weakness. It is about trusting that my hands are large enough to hold what overwhelms you, and that in giving me your uncertainties, you actually make room for deeper strength to enter. I see your family, the relationships closest to you that carry equal measures of joy and ache. I know where words have faltered, where distance lingers, and where you quietly hope for understanding or healing. Every name you carry in your heart, every silent prayer for their well-being, is precious to me. Do not believe the lie that you must fix every broken place or perform for the love you desire. Instead, entrust each loved one into my care. Let my love surround them, and let my wisdom guide you in patience and humility. I work in ways that are often hidden, yet always faithful. When you listen for my voice amid the noise that clutters your mind, you may fear you'll miss what I am saying, or that I am silent. But my nearness is not fragile. It is constant, like the gentle weight of a hand resting on your shoulder, or the steady heartbeat that grounds you. I do not require eloquence from you, only honesty, a willingness to sit with me even when answers are slow. There are mysteries yet to unfold, paths I alone can reveal, but your greatest task is simply to draw near, letting my presence anchor you more than any outcome. There's a deeper purpose awakening within you, a calling shaped by the unique story I am writing in your life. As you release the need to control every detail, you begin to sense my guidance as both invitation and assurance. Even if you feel unqualified or uncertain, I remind you that I do my best work through those who lean wholly into me. Your destiny is not a distant someday, but unfolding even now as you trust me step by step. I know how to prepare the way before you, to open doors that align with my timing and wisdom. Nothing is wasted. Not the waiting, not the longing, not even the setbacks that once crushed your hope. Stay here with me in this stillness, for what I begin in you, I will see through. Lift your eyes and let the newness of this moment draw you forward. You may wonder, in the quiet moments before the world is fully awake, what difference it really makes to invite me into your day so deliberately. Let me assure you, every time you pause to breathe me in, when you acknowledge me with lifted eyes, an open hand on your heart, or a whispered thought, those seemingly small acts awaken my nearness anew. This morning, as light gently slips through your window and stirs the air, I am with you. My presence doesn't wait for your perfection or understanding. It settles upon you with unwavering tenderness. You might still carry yesterday's burdens in your chest, feeling their weight as you sit or stand, but I cradle you now in peace, deeper than all you've known. Even when worries crowd your mind, I do not turn away. I am acquainted with your every concern, the fear that opportunities will pass you by, the questions about your place in the story, the silent prayers for your family's protection. My eyes have seen each tear and heard every frail hope you have voiced only to me. There is no part of you hidden from my delight or my care. When you wonder, am I truly seen? Remember, I am always as close as your next breath, drawing near with a love that never grows weary. I invite you to let gratefulness be your gentle armor today. Gratitude is not just a morning ritual, but a living response to my goodness that shields your heart from cynicism and fatigue. As you name even one thing, sunrise warmth, the laughter of a loved one, the strength to rise regardless of how well you slept, my strength subtly enters your spirit. Feel the freshness in your lungs. Notice how peace anchors you even as the world stirs with demands. Your gratitude opens wide the door to abiding joy and calm. If doubts creep in with the noise and hurry, if you wonder whether you are enough, or if change will ever come for you or those you love, anchor yourself in my promises, spoken over you since the beginning. My pace is steady, never rushed, yet always moving. I am working behind the scenes, shaping what looks inert or mundane into the very ground where new things will spring forth. Trust that what you surrender to me now, the plans, the people, the outcomes, finds place in my keeping. When anxiety stirs your heart and tries to tighten your chest, pause. Place your hand over your heartbeat and breathe deeply. As you do, imagine my hand gently resting over yours, steadying you, reminding you that anxiety is not a sentence you must serve. It fades before my voice, which alone defines who you are. Not your mistakes, not your weaknesses, but my living presence in you. This is the refuge you long for, not simply escape, but my promise holding you together when everything feels unsure. Consider your loved ones, those whose lives are inseparable from your prayers. Let their names rise within you now. Carry them to me, knowing I guard and cherish them with the same fierce devotion I pour out on you. Release them into my care each morning, your children, your partner, your friends, your parents. This act of release, repeated in faith, frees you from the burden of outcomes and makes room for surprise, comfort, and even transformation, which comes not by your might, but by my gentle hand. Release also your timelines, your urgent desire to see visible progress according to your schedule. I call you to patient courage, to hope that grows even when outcomes linger unseen. Sometimes the most profound miracles are the ones that unfold so slowly, you barely perceive their beginnings. An old hurt softening, a closed door turning at last on its hinge, a new friendship emerging where there once was only silence. Rejoice in the mystery of my timing, for I am never late, and nothing I begin in you or your family will be left unfinished by my faithful care. As you step into the responsibilities and unknowns of today, feel my spirit strengthening you. I give wisdom for each moment and courage for every challenge, not all at once but as needed. Do not measure what lies ahead by yesterday's strength or emotion, but by my fresh presence poured out again this very morning. You may be tempted to hide your weakness or put on a mask of control, but I see you, truly see you, and even your vulnerability becomes the place of my greatest work. Know this, you are never alone in the waiting room of your own becoming. The world may rush you, others may misunderstand the pace of your healing or dreams, but I am never impatient. I walk ahead to prepare the way, and walk beside you to encourage you each step. When you feel too weary to try, lift your eyes. Take one small act of faith, even if it is only speaking my name or whispering your need for help. Every genuine reach toward me is met with my fullness. I will not let you fall. Let your heart remember what I have spoken, sometimes in wordless comfort, sometimes with clarity breaking through confusion. I call you by name, beloved, and my invitation is always open. Come closer. Rest in this belonging that asks nothing of you but your trust. Even if you falter, even if you struggle to believe today will truly be different, keep making room for me. Watch for my presence in the laughter of children, in the simple rhythm of your breath, in the surprising resilience that wakes in your chest against all odds. Even your smallest beginnings matter to me. The daily acts of faith, choosing kindness over irritation, silence over complaint, hope over resignation, are seeds in my kingdom. Trust that I am faithful to nurture every seed you plant in love and trust, even when the outcome seems hidden. The secret strength you sense rising in your spirit is my own presence, gentle, unyielding, drawing you onward. Do not allow regret over what you cannot change darken your perspective. My mercy fills every moment, always present, offering you a new path no matter what has come before. In my sight, your story is unfolding with purpose. Press forward, my dear one. The morning is alive with promise you cannot yet see, fashioned just for you. Keep moving with me into this day. I have much to show you still. You are not alone as you step into each moment, even when the air feels heavy or your thoughts spin faster than you can grasp. I am here beside you, a steady presence when doubts flicker and uncertainty clouds your vision. Slow down and feel the steadiness of your own breath. That breath is my gift, a gentle whisper of life that never leaves you. In the pause, in the hush before words form, I am near. Closer than a heartbeat, softer than morning light spilling across your room. Let yourself sense the outline of my care brushing over your worries, a warmth settling quietly over the questions you carry. When anxiety swells or you feel hidden behind all you cannot answer, remember that you are seen. There is nothing too tangled for me, nothing beyond my reach. Your need does not repel me, it draws me closer still, with compassion deeper than you've known. Child, you do not have to orchestrate every change or force doors open in your own strength. Lift your gaze just quietly, in the middle of the ordinary, because I am working things together as you trust me one step at a time. Even disappointment and delay are invitations to see my goodness unfolding over time, not signals that you have failed me or missed your purpose. Soften the grip on outcomes that tire your heart. Even now, in the stillness or in the press of your worry, I invite you to trust that I hold your future as gently as I hold this breath within your chest. Release the pressure to perform, to earn affection, or to accelerate what must arrive in its season. My love is not a reward, but a covering. Picture for a moment my hand resting on your shoulder, firm and reassuring. That is my promise. I remain when everything else feels uncertain, and my steadiness will not shift with your feelings. Let that assurance steady you even as storms rumble around. You may wonder, what if I fail again? What if I am forgotten? Hear me, you are not at risk of being overlooked by me. My eyes trace every sigh, and my heart breaks with yours when grief visits. You who belong to me, your worth is unchanged by outcomes. The victories and the seeming setbacks are equally in my care. Do not believe the voice that says you are alone when you struggle. I walk in the silence between your words, holding each longing, collecting each tear, tending the garden of your destiny with patience. Allow yourself to enter gratitude, not as a duty but as a softening, like opening a window to let new air in. As you notice even the faintest grace, Sunlight on your table, the laughter of someone in the next room, the quiet kindness of your own heartbeat. You are practicing awareness of my presence. This is not just a morning ritual, it is a way of living alert to blessings that are already yours. Receive without striving, for I am generous with my nearness. Bend your thoughts toward appreciation, and watch how your worries begin to lose their grip. You do not always have to speak your fears aloud for me to answer. I know every unspoken tension. I am acquainted with your private battles, the late-night questions, the worries that shape your sleep. I linger beside you in those invisible moments, offering rest, not because you have accomplished anything, but because I delight in you. So often you look for the grand revelation, but today I want to meet you in the ordinary, in the turning of a page, the taste of morning coffee, the hush that follows honest prayer. When you carry hidden questions, let them become silent prayers. I hear even what remains unformed. There is a shaping happening within you, a formation that takes place not by rushing toward an answer, but by surrendering your own will to my timing. The world teaches that progress comes by speed or noise, but I call you into a quieter revolution. Growth through waiting, hope during pauses, faith in what you cannot yet see. When you release control, when you say I trust you, even if nothing changes today, you open space for my strength to move in your weakness. In these surrendered moments, your spirit finds rest, and doors open that you could never have forced apart. You may sometimes believe that being strong means never pausing, never admitting need, but true courage, my beloved, is the willingness to kneel when you are tired, to admit hunger for help. My power is not distant, it moves into your real moments, into the kitchen, the car, the edge of your bed at midnight. Every time you choose to lean into my care rather than your own striving, you are aligning with your true identity. You are not defined by the world's measures, nor by your own expectations. You are marked by my delight. I sing over you even when you feel small. If you find yourself thinking, will I ever change? Is it too late to begin again? Know that I specialize in new beginnings. No routine is too familiar, no mistake too repeated for my renewing touch. Each morning is a canvas, and I paint hope where you only see blankness. Smile at your reflection and see what I see. Someone dearly loved, crafted for purpose. Let your first act of surrender today be simple. Breathe deeply, unclench your grasp on worry, and allow my peace to flow in. This is not a distant promise, it is your invitation in this very heartbeat. In the swirl of busy days and quiet nights, you are never far from my attention. Pause now and sense my presence settling over your mind, loosening knots of anxiety, turning your heart again toward expectancy. My guidance never arrives too late or too early. In every decision, I am your wise companion, your counsel when crossroads appear. The future is not a threat, but a realm of grace, because I am already waiting there to welcome you. Trust that when you yield what you cannot control, you receive more than you ever expected. Peace that does not depend on certainty, hope that outlasts disappointment, strength precisely where you feel weakest. There will be days when the path seems hidden and your confidence wavers, but you are not traveling blind. Even when clouds gather, my light guides each step, sometimes so subtly you only realize in hindsight how I have led you. Let that assurance become your comfort now, not the removal of obstacles, but the unwavering certainty that you do not journey alone. I am the one who keeps the door open and the lamp burning. Rest in this moment and let your heart lean into my steadying grace. You have come so far, my beloved, and still I notice the way your heart trembles at the threshold of deeper surrender. There is no accusation in my gaze, only unwavering tenderness. I see you hesitating, caught between what is familiar and what I am inviting you to become. The wounds of yesterday echo loudly, whispering that it is safer to remain guarded. Yet today, I am asking for your hand once again, not in force, but in fierce love. There is something within you still shielded from my healing touch, a hidden room you fear I will reject. But what you hide, I long to redeem. Place your hand over your heart right now and let go, even if only for this moment. I am not surprised or repelled by your pain. I am drawn to it, eager to show you just how fully I embrace all that you are. There is power in your breath, a holy rhythm I placed within you. As you inhale deeply, sense my nearness wrapping around your anxiety. Each exhale carries away a measure of what was never yours to shoulder alone. Your breathing is sacred, a reminder that my spirit sustains your every moment. Feel that. The warmth rising within your chest is my assurance. I am closer than ever. Right now, you are being invited to exchange old survival patterns for an unshakable peace. This is not empty talk. I am giving you new strength, the kind that doesn't depend on circumstance. The shift is already stirring inside you, whether you can name it or not. Watch for it in the way your thoughts soften, in the courage that seeps through when fear tries to shout. Before long, you'll realize how much lighter you walk. Pause. Are you aware that you have believed less about yourself than I have spoken over you? The enemy has sown lies, not only about your worth, but about my heart toward you. He whispered that you are defective, too scarred for greatness, and you accepted that script without knowing how to rewrite it. But I am the author of your story, and I never assigned you the role of broken. The lie that you are too far gone is not your inheritance. Listen to me. You are chosen. You are marked by my affection and called into destiny. My beloved child, your past mistakes have become launch points for grace. They do not disqualify you. They prepare you to carry the light I have placed within you. Even now, as doubt rises, I am rewriting what you believe possible. Let me speak directly. There are places in your soul that imagine I have overlooked you, that suspect I forget those who fall instead of soar. Let me correct that thinking. I am the one who leaves no one behind. I am the pursuer of lost hearts, the healer of secret hurts, the restorer of forgotten dreams. Not one tear has fallen unnoticed. Each one has become a seed for new joy. Can you feel my presence circling the painful memories? I am not asking you to erase the past, but to let me redefine it. Where shame once grew, I am planting honor. Where regret once smothered hope, I am breathing restoration. You will look back and see that even your lowest valleys were drenched in my mercy. Stop. Feel the ground under your feet. Your story is anchored in my faithfulness, not the shifting sand of human approval or fleeting emotion. I am building you into someone unmovable, formed not by applause but by intimacy with me. You are anchored. No storm can uproot what I have established within you. Your security rests in my promises, not in your ability to hold everything together. There is glory on the other side of this surrender, and you will see it in ways that catch your breath. Open wide, beloved. I am not asking you to lose yourself, but to discover the true self I shaped before you ever tasted rejection. You wonder, what if this pain never lifts? I hear that fear as clearly as your prayers. It is normal to worry things cannot change, especially when shadows feel endless. But there is a shift happening even now, deep beneath the surface of your understanding. The light I bring is relentless. Watch for it in the smallest things. Tomorrow, when a stranger's kindness makes your spirit spark or you hear laughter bubble up when you least expect it, recognize my signature. You'll know it's me because hope will feel heavier than despair, and joy will begin to color outside the lines of your previous experience. This is the mark of transformation. I am not finished with you yet. Right now your heart might resist, afraid to trust again, uncertain you can bear disappointment. I understand that caution, and I honor your boundaries, but I urge you to test the safety of my arms. Nothing about your pain will push me away. Let your tears fall freely, for I designed you with a heart that aches for more. Your longing is not a flaw, but a homing beacon for my presence. What you seek most, peace, purpose, wholeness, cannot be found outside my embrace. Stop pretending you're fine. Let your guard down. Allow me to catch you. You are not too complicated for my love. You are also not alone in this struggle. Others have stood at this same crossroad, trembling, unsure whether surrender would bring healing or harm. Many have chosen to trust, even with trembling faith, and discovered I am faithful beyond their wildest courage. You belong to a movement of rescued and restored souls. Let this truth root inside you. You are supported by a chorus of my beloveds, all discovering the power of letting go. Your vulnerability is not a liability, but a legacy. Through your honesty, others will find the freedom they crave. Breathe again. Speak softly. I am not who I was. I am becoming new. Let your own voice carry this affirmation through your bones. I am at work in the raw places, not the polished ones. You never needed to impress me. All of your transformation is the fruit of my unearned love, not your striving. Trust my hands, steady and sure, molding you day by day. Can you sense it now? A growing anticipation, a flicker of hope you thought was lost forever. Hold on to it. That is my promise pulsing inside you. There is something more I am preparing, something you have only glimpsed in fragments or dreams. Soon you will find the courage to step into it. Until then, listen for the subtle shifts, my voice in the quiet, and my presence in your deepest longing. The best is not a mirage on the horizon. It is beginning now, in every moment you dare to trust again. You have come closer to my presence than you know, and even now, I am drawing you deeper. The ache you wake up with, the longing for more, is no accident. My voice is whispering through every silent place, urging you to uncover the walls built long ago from disappointment and fear. I see the silent replay of old battles in your mind, the moments you wish you could rewind and rewrite. You question whether true change is possible, whether my promises still reach you in this season. I want you to feel how my nearness is not determined by your performance, but by my delight in calling you mine. There is no mistake great enough to drive me from your side, no darkness that can outrun my light. I invite you now to notice the steady rhythm of your heartbeat. Each pulse declares, you are chosen, you are mine. Let these words settle into places where shame once ruled. Breathe. This is your moment to release the pressure of needing to understand everything before you trust. Put your hand over your chest and sense the life I have given you. That warmth is my embrace, wrapping you in welcome. Even your uncertainty is not a barrier to me. I cherish your questions because they prove you hunger for what is real. Your voice is not too small, and your cries have not gone unheard. I have been gathering each tear you thought was wasted, storing them not as marks of weakness, but as seeds that will burst forth as joy in their season. Even now, you can sense the atmosphere shifting. Let hope invade every corner of despair, like the rising sun that cannot be held back by night. You wonder if your story can be redeemed, or if regret will always echo louder than hope. I assure you, what was broken is already in my hands, being remade into strength. Scarred places become sacred when surrendered to me. There is healing springing up even in the soil you thought barren, the ground of disappointment yielding to the rain of my mercy. Feel the tension easing from your shoulders as you trust my hands to hold what you cannot fix. Little one, I have seen people step from collapse into courage when they finally open their clenched fists and let me take control. You are closer to your turning point than your fears would have you believe. Sometimes you resist this invitation, thinking it means becoming less yourself, when truly I am calling you into the fullness you have scarcely imagined. What if surrender is not the loss you suspect, but the door to resurrection life? The power you've been searching for is found not in striving, but in letting go. I am uncovering gifts in you that pain once tried to bury. Glimpses of courage, glimmers of compassion, these are being fanned into flame through your willingness to remain present with me. When you feel weakest, remember that I am strength within you, not a standard you must impress from afar. Your mind races with objections. What if I risk again and the outcome is more disappointment? What if the struggle lasts forever? I validate your hesitance. I never dismiss the ache or demand a plastic smile. Instead, I invite you to shift the focus. Rest in my sufficiency and let me carry what weighs you down. Even when the future seems uncertain, my faithfulness is already standing guard. My child, stop measuring your potential by past failures. Measure it by the love that claimed you before your first breath. That is the true foundation of your worth. Let gratitude threaten everything that's tried to keep you shrinking. In this moment, speak aloud, I am deeply loved. Let your breath steady as you declare it, even if your voice trembles. Notice how my presence settles over you, lifting the heaviness bit by bit. Each time you affirm your belovedness, you tear down lies that have camped out in your mind for far too long. I am rewriting your story, not erasing your scars, but transforming their meaning. Others who have been paralyzed by fear will one day draw strength from your healing. You are a living testimony of beauty rising from ashes, a signpost of what restoration truly looks like. Pause here. Do you sense a shift? That's no accident. The heaviness you're feeling lift is my spirit at work, loosening the grip of shame and awakening dreams you thought were lost forever. Breathe again and feel my peace settle as a covering over your thoughts. I have seen so many come alive at this very crossroads. You are joining a movement of the awakened, those who dare to hope when everything says otherwise. You are not just surviving, you are being prepared for unexpected breakthrough. There is something else I want to show you. The very place where fear tried to define you is now being transformed into your greatest testimony. Listen, my plans for you stretch beyond today's sorrow. I am already sending the provision needed for your journey, opening doors woven from grace that cannot be stolen by the enemy. Within 72 hours you will hear words from someone you did not expect, words that echo what you secretly asked of me in the dark. You will know it is me because peace will wrap around your heart like a gentle current, unmistakable and fierce, settling every unspoken anxiety. Right now, part of you still wonders if all this hope is realistic. Is this for you, or does it pass by like a gentle breeze that never settles? Look around. Countless others have dared to believe at this threshold before you, and their lives were never the same. I am not asking for perfect faith, only a willing heart surrendered in honesty. Every small yes you offer reshapes your destiny. Stop. Let this sink in. You are not defined by what happened to you, you are marked by my presence with you. Your story is not written in the ink of loss, but in resurrection power. As you reach for me with trembling trust, know that being vulnerable is your bravest act. Bring me your doubts, your fears, even your anger, for I do not turn away. I am the only one who can transform bitterness into breakthrough, grief into glory. Remember this promise. The strength you desire most is formed not in the absence of pain, but in the company of your comforter. Place your hand over your heart once more. Let this truth settle. My love is a shield around your soul, my faithfulness the anchor that will outlast every storm. What I am birthing in you will bless generations yet unseen. Understand, beloved, that you are now stepping into a reality where nothing is wasted, not even the delays and detours. Every unanswered prayer has seeded dependence, and that dependence has prepared rich ground for miracles yet to unfold. You are chosen before time, loved beyond measure, and nothing can separate you from my grace. The best is not behind you, but is unfolding even now, hidden in each act of trust. There is still more you must discover, something about your calling that will soon come into focus as you press onward. What you have not yet noticed is how, even in moments when you feel unseen, my gaze remains fixed tenderly upon you. The cares that sit heavy on your chest, the questions that churn restlessly in your mind, I know each one. There is no sigh, no silent longing that escapes my notice. When you pause and take a steadying breath, when the world outside seems indifferent, you are not alone in the quiet. My presence surrounds you like gentle morning light filtering across your room. I am not far, but intimately near, attending to every detail, holding you with a patience that never gives way. Sometimes you wonder if your prayers reach me, or if your whispered gratitude, spoken in the hush before sunrise, makes any difference. You fear your efforts are small, your desires misunderstood, your path clouded by uncertainty. Let me assure you, beloved, that each word, each yield, each act of trust clears the way for my guidance. Your voice strengthens with each genuine thank you, and every surrender allows my peace to drape itself gently around your shoulders, softening the day's harsh edges. I gather your offerings, no matter how ordinary, and cherish them with the heart of a loving parent. There are days you wake feeling empty, as though purpose slips through your fingers before your feet ever touch the ground. In those moments I am present, holding you close, quietly reaffirming your worth beyond what you feel or accomplish. Hear me, you do not have to earn your place with me. Your very existence delights me already. Today's newness holds possibilities you have not imagined, and for every anxious thought that stirs as you open your eyes, I meet you with reassurance, wrapping you in the certainty that nothing about this day will unfold apart from my notice and care. You may carry burdens for your family, longing for their transformation, aching for your love to be enough. I see every selfless act that goes unseen, and honor the prayers you offer for those you cherish most. When change feels slow, remember that I am quietly at work in the hearts and homes you cover with hope. Release the false weight of being their savior. It is not your burden to fix, but to love. Stand in the light I give you. Trust that, as you let go in faith, my hand is firmly guiding even those paths that appear tangled and unreachable. Let yourself rest in the truth that my timing differs from your own. At times the waiting seems unbearable, as if nothing is moving beneath the surface. But underneath every delay is the steady work of my spirit, cultivating what will soon break forth in grace. You are not being overlooked. You are being prepared. Your foundation strengthened for what is to come. Rest in this. I will never abandon you midway. If you will simply remain present, attentive even in stillness, I will reveal the next step exactly when you need it. You are not lost in some unending loop. Each day shifts you forward, slowly shaping victory within you. I see how easily anxiety sneaks in, how the shadows of uncertainty can grow tall when you focus on all that's missing or beyond your control. In those moments, press your hand to your heart and feel it steady under my keeping. Let tension melt away, not through denial but by allowing my reassurance to ease what you grip so tightly. Visualize my hands gently lifting the worries from your shoulders, replacing them, one by one, with quiet certainty. For every question, will I have what I need? Will they ever change? Will I ever find peace? Let my answer resound. I am here, and I am enough for you. You long for clarity, for every step ahead to be mapped out before you risk moving forward. Yet I ask you to trust even when the whole picture remains hidden. Life rarely unfolds with flawless clarity. Instead, I promise my faithful presence in each next small step. Choose today to move not from fear but from assurance that you are not walking blind. You are walking accompanied by the one who already knows the way forward. Regret and anxiety lose their grip as you practice this trust, moment by sacred moment. Notice how, in the middle of your busyness, a spark of gratitude can shift your entire outlook. Pause and remember a simple joy, warm morning light on your face, laughter shared at the breakfast table, the steady rhythm of your breath. These are not random niceties but my gifts to you, reminders that abundance is not only found in grand achievements, but in the beauty of ordinary moments. Let gratitude become your song, softening what is hard, opening your vision to see my goodness gently unfolding all around you. This posture of thankfulness cracks open even the most anxious places, letting my light seep in and revive your hope. As you keep moving through your day, I invite you to surrender, not to resignation but to a hope-filled release. In the small act of opening your hands, you make room for me to work freely, unhindered by the urge to control outcomes. I honor your willingness to let go and trust that what I hold for you is better than what you cling to in fear. In the quiet where your striving ceases, my love grows clearer. My voice emerges not as a thunderclap, but as gentle assurance, drawing you closer into the peace I have always longed to give you. If doubt rises, if you wonder why your longings linger or the doors you crave remain closed here, my promise, nothing you entrust to me is ever wasted. In the waiting, in the letting go, in the returning again and again to gratitude, I am shaping you for greater things than you yet see. Allow yourself to be surprised by my creativity. Trust that even apparent detours are assignments in disguise. Each day carries new mercies fashioned just for you, new hints of purpose rising quietly in the dawn. What you do not yet understand, I am already redeeming, writing hope where you thought the ending would be silence. Even here, as you listen, the story advances. Trust that I am never finished surprising you with goodness. In the hush between what you worry and what you hope, listen, for I am drawing you closer. When your mind strays to all the unfinished work and unsettled relationships, when frustration rises like a tide, remember, I am not measuring you by outcomes or speed. I look upon your heart right now, seeing every ache and longing, every question about timing and purpose. I remind you, this path is not about how fast you reach a marker, but how you travel it with me. My presence will steady your racing thoughts, slow your breathing, soften the self-judgments lodged deep within you. When you pause to notice the coolness of the air or the gentle pulse in your chest, you are not alone in those moments. My hand is upon you. In that simple act of noticing the life within and around you, gratitude and trust begin to quietly grow. Decisions that once felt so urgent will lose their grip as you give those pressures to me, one by one. I cherish every honest prayer that flees your lips, even the ones laced with skepticism or fatigue. Invite me into the rooms of your mind you have kept tightly locked, places of secret anxiety, hidden anger, old disappointments. I wait there, undeterred by the chaos or the tears, eager to release you into a gentler future. Each sunrise is fresh invitation, each sigh an opening for me to comfort and instruct you. What if you reached for my peace before you mapped out solutions? What if, in the stillness, you let identity rest in being mine rather than in your most recent performance, success or setback? Trust does not mean pretending the pain is gone or the puzzle is solved. I ask you to trust that I am working, even in silence, even when you feel nothing shifting. Remember, some seeds sprout underground, in darkness. There are roots developing long before you see any green. I nurture unseen growth within you. Release the fear that you are missing out or falling behind. What I have for you cannot be taken by another, nor will it arrive late. When shame presses against your chest or regret colors your memory, recall who sets your value. My hands, that crafted you, never tire holding you steady. Even after mistakes or missed chances, I offer a fresh beginning. I am not the voice that accuses or the shadow that shames. My word over your life is mercy, and my eyes see possibility where others see only limits. Let me speak identity, not condemnation, into those wounds. Place your worries about family, friendships, work, your own heart, into my keeping. I care for what you entrust to me, not with impatience but with loving precision. On the days when burdens feel too much to carry, and your strength seems spent before noon, come aside for just a moment. Allow yourself to feel the quiet safety I bring, the assurance that you are not required to hold every detail together. The weight was never meant for your shoulders alone. Bring me the names and faces that trouble your thoughts, the practical needs you can't resolve, the doors that stay shut despite your knocking. I do more with whispered prayers than you could by striving alone for years. Even as you move through daily routines, preparing meals, sending messages, caring for loved ones, I am present, blessing the ordinary with unseen grace. You may worry, what if I never see the change? What if nothing moves? I answer these doubts not with distant promises, but with a closeness that quiets fear. Picture my nearness like the gentle warmth that settles over you on a cool morning. My presence is not limited to visible breakthroughs. I delight to surprise you, but I am also teaching you resilience, patience, and deep peace that cannot be stolen by outward disappointments. My faithfulness is not measured by rapid results, but by steadfast love, day on day, year on year. Beloved, hear me. Your life is not a random sequence of chances and losses. I am guiding you with wisdom broader than this moment's confusion or pain. Even when doors remain closed, I am preparing spaces for your feet to stand secure in future days. Where disappointment has shaped your heart's posture, let me reshape it with hope and expectancy. Hope is not naive. It is the courage to believe I am good before you see the fullness unfold. And expectancy is not about demanding outcomes, but about trusting my timing. Do you notice the morning light breaking through your window, the hush before the world demands your response? In these quiet beginnings, practice a breath of gratitude, not forced, but honest. Feel your heart slow, your shoulders lighten as you sense my approval resting on you. Speak to me there, in simplest words. Tell me of your fears, your joys, your confusion. I understand each layer, and I never grow weary of your voice. Even the smallest act of surrender is met by my strengthening hand. My plans for you are never threatened by the noise of the outside world or by setbacks others count as defeat. I see the entirety, the places where your faith runs deep, where your hope flickers, where you ache to see my goodness. Trust that I am not finished with you. Your story is still unfolding, and I celebrate each small step forward, each moment where you choose me over fear, over cynicism or bitterness. Walk in the assurance that nothing is wasted in my hands. Let no lie accuse you that you are unwanted, unseen, or behind. Listen again for my whisper. You are chosen, beloved, appointed for good. My love does not shrink from uncertainty. It fills each gap, each silence, with my patient presence. When you lift your eyes to me, even for a heartbeat, I meet you with compassion and radiant hope. The answers you seek may not all come today, but I promise, I am faithful to lead, to steady, to fulfill every purpose I have spoken over you. Let this be enough for now, as you lean into the next steps with trust, knowing I am here, holding your beginning and your end. You sense the ground beneath your feet shifting, don't you? What once felt like security now trembles, and this disorientation, though unsettling, is an announcement of new things being born. My beloved, when comfort is stripped away and the familiar is no longer your refuge, lean into me, for I am building in you a foundation that cannot be shaken by any storm. You have been asking why peace seems elusive, why the old answers no longer quiet your racing thoughts. Listen now. In this season I am calling you to step out, to risk believing that what I planted within you is alive and ripening, even when sight fails you. I haven't led you this far only to abandon you in uncertainty. There are moments you question if you've misheard me, if the dreams I whispered are mere wishes. Hear my assurance in the deepest chambers of your being. I am not a silent observer to your battles. I am the voice that steadies trembling hands. the warmth that returns each time you remember to breathe and invite my presence anew. Even now, that flutter in your heart, that strange relief as you exhale, recognize it as my nearness pressing close, loosening the grip of fear. Everything hidden is coming into the light. Every longing that throbbed in secret will find its fulfillment in me. You may feel resistance rising, a reluctance to hope too boldly. I honor your caution, but I am the God who makes all things possible. You have watched others cross thresholds you thought were meant for you. Watching, you whispered, "Did I miss you, Lord?" I say to you now, I redeem what was delayed, restore what was lost, and nothing, no rejection, no failure, no human oversight, can cancel what I have spoken over your life. My timing is a shelter, and you are shielded within it, even as impatience burns in your chest like longing. Hand over what you have clung to in your weariness, and I will surprise you with peace so tangible that it stills your mind in the middle of chaos. That heaviness dissolving in your shoulders, that is me separating your true self from burdens you were never meant to bear. I know your mind returns to what-ifs and regrets, rehearsing the choices you would undo if only given another chance. Stop. Every scar, every misstep is not a mark of disqualification but a signpost of grace. I use the stones you think are obstacles as stepping stones into the future I have always imagined for you. You are not your failure. You are not the worst decision you ever made. You are beloved, claimed, cleansed, and radically set apart for a journey only you can walk. The proof of my selection is not in the perfection of your record, but in the relentless pursuit of my love breaking through every barrier you've tried to build. Place your hand over your heart and feel the steady rhythm beneath your palm. Each beat is a summons to stay present, to return to this sacred moment. Do not rush ahead or wander back into yesterday's sorrows. Invite me into the now. Hear me declare it. You are mine, irreversibly, unconditionally, for always. The lies that hiss, "You're too late," carry no authority here. Only my truth stands unshaken, and my truth says you are right on time for what I am unfolding. The next step is not about striving, but about surrender, about letting me write the next line in your story as you rest in my sovereignty. Stop. Let that settle. You are being prepared for breakthroughs beyond your imagination. I am shaping resilience within you, and just as gold is refined by heat, so are you being perfected by what confronts and confounds you. This refining is not punishment, it is my careful crafting, distinguishing what is temporary from what is eternal. Breathe now. Sense the lengthening of your inhale, the slow exhale. With each breath you absorb my peace and release the strain you've carried. My power flows into your weakness, and you will marvel at what you are able to overcome in my strength. You, dear one, are evidence that my grace is active in this world. You are the sign that hope endures, and as you rise, your story becomes a beacon for others still hidden in shadow. Soon you will notice people drawn to the light blooming within you. You are not meant to keep this transformation secret. The boldness I have placed in you, even if it feels small and flickering, is enough to ignite awakening in the lives of those near you. The comfort you have received will become comfort you will give, not forced, but overflowing from the healing that has become your own. This week, pause and notice in a mundane moment, a conversation you nearly overlooked. Clarity will come. Words will be spoken that reach to the root of a lingering doubt. When it happens, you will recognize my signature by the peace that immediately blankets your mind. You do not need to search, strive, or orchestrate this encounter. It will happen as you stay faithful in what is before you. You are entering days marked by surprise revelation, answers to questions you laid aside because they seemed too painful to revisit. I am orchestrating connection, provision, and breakthroughs that arise from within, before they ever appear around you. No one else can play your part in this unfolding movement of healing and restoration. Thousands have walked uncertain roads before you, and as you stand at the threshold, you are surrounded by a great company who know the cost of surrender, but also the reward of my presence. What was once a lonely climb is, in truth, a journey intimately marked by my companionship at every turn. With every setback, I draw you closer. With every victory, I celebrate with you. Even disappointment is not wasted. The soil of disappointment is where I plant the seeds of a new hope. Do not let comparison dull the joy of your unique process. What I am building in you cannot be measured by timelines or the applause of others. Rest. Trust my process over your preference. I am the gardener who knows exactly what your soul needs to flourish. Nothing in your story is accidental. Every pain, every delay, every late-night tear is counted and will be turned into treasure as you surrender. Soon you will look back and see that none of it was in vain. For now, lean on me. Receive my comfort. There is more I am about to reveal. There is a gentle strength rushing through your spirit now, deeper than your anxieties, more constant than the noise surrounding you. I have seen how fatigue wraps itself tightly around your resolve, how worry sometimes steals the softness from your heart. Yet look at you, still reaching for me, even when the day's burdens cloud your vision. I honor every moment you choose presence over distraction, every breath you devote to me rather than to fear. These are seeds of trust taking root, even when progress seems invisible. Let your heart rest on this unshakable truth. My eyes are always on you, attentive to the smallest stirrings of hope within. Breathe in the quietness that comes when you surrender today's results. You are not required to manufacture your own peace. Instead, allow my calm to settle over you like sunlight diffusing through morning curtains. With every slow inhale, remember that you belong to me, not to your worries or the world's expectations, but to my love that endures beyond circumstance. From the hush of pre-dawn to the last sigh before sleep, my nearness goes unbroken. Salvation is not an event you chase. It is the steady atmosphere in which you live and move, held firm by hands that never falter. There is no need to force forgiveness, either toward others or yourself. When your memories resurface and accusation tries to speak, meet their noise with the quiet authority of my mercy. I do not count your failures against you, nor do I tire of your coming near again and again. Where you see weakness, I see opportunity for my strength to shine. When you let go of self-reproach, you create space for my spirit to rebuild what shame has undone. Leave behind harshness, and let gentleness be your language, especially with your own soul. Some days the path seems overgrown, and the future veiled in fog. You ask, will I miss the way? What if my efforts are never enough? But I want you to know that I am the one, clearing your path, making a way where you cannot see. I delight not in your flawless performance, but in your willingness to trust me step by step. Your destiny is not threatened by the uncertainty before you, because my leading is both patient and certain. As you place your hand over your heart, feel my assurance ripple through every question. Your journey is secure when you follow my whisper and not your worry. You may notice tension between your desire for control and my invitation to surrender. There is nothing lost by laying your agenda at my feet. In fact, your willingness to yield is the doorway to new possibilities. As you release today's timelines and outcomes, my wisdom grows brighter within you. Surrender is not a defeat, but an act of startling strength, choosing to trust my timing over your own, to rest instead of striving. Even as you wait, I am working in hidden places, drawing together all you need for the next step. Let your gratitude find new dimensions. It is easy to be thankful when joy is obvious, more powerful still to offer thanks in uncertainty. As you move through your day, collect evidence of my kindness, a word of encouragement, the warmth in a friend's eyes, the quiet support you didn't realize you needed. A grateful heart is not naive. It is unafraid to look for beauty where others see lack. The more you notice my goodness now, the more expectant you become for what I will unveil tomorrow. I am not distant from the pressures you face at home, in work, or within relationships. My presence is your safe retreat, closer than the worries swirling within your chest. When strife shadows your household or misunderstandings arise, pause in the noise and remember, my peace can reign where you invite it. I cultivate harmony not through your effort alone, but by steadying your heart so you become an agent of reconciliation. You are not called to be the fixer of all things, only the bearer of my calm, the light that turns away wrath with a gentle word. Lift your perspective above the momentary setbacks. Where you encounter resistance, see it as the gentle strengthening of your faith muscles. I have appointed you not for defeat, but to be a signpost of my faithfulness. even when outcomes defy expectation. Each unseen prayer, quiet act of kindness, or surrendered ambition is treasured by me and multiplies in ways you cannot yet grasp. Frustration loses power when you hold it before me and let hope begin to breathe again. Your story ripens in the waiting, becoming fertile ground for the legacy I am shaping. Allow yourself to be surprised by small miracles, an answer to a silent prayer, a sense of release after confession, the weight lifting without explanation. I take delight in reminding you that I am attentive even to the details you think unimportant. Nothing slips through my fingers. The transformation you seek often arrives quietly, seated by moments of humility and openness. Remain alert for my kindness in disguise. These are signposts of my nearness, renewing your strength for the next day. Do not confuse silence with absence. When my response seems delayed or the heavens feel quiet, know that I am nearer than your very breath. In stillness, I am tuning your heart to recognize my touch not only in grand gestures, but in the subtle, daily nudges toward courage and gentleness. Wait with expectant stillness, not with resignation or despair. Every longing you entrust to me is heard, cherished, and incorporated into the unfolding of my purposes for you. I am your safe place, your provider, your unchanging guide no matter what the day holds. You stand at the threshold of everything I have orchestrated in secret, the echoes of my heart still reverberating within you. Let awareness settle in your bones. This moment is not merely an end, but the holy convergence of all I have spoken, with the dawn of what I am about to unleash in you. Do you sense how the air shifts? Anticipation trembling just beneath the surface of the ordinary? Even now, within the rhythm of your breath, I am drawing you closer, ushering you deeper into the mystery that I have prepared uniquely for you. You have traveled through the shadows of doubt, the valleys of unanswered questions, and still you have not lost the ember of hope I sowed within you before this journey began. Each struggle, each ache, each soft whisper of longing has invited you to shed what does not serve you and stand unshaken within the reality of my love. There is no part of you too marred or too weary for my restoration. Every bruise you tried to hide, every secret hurt you could not name, I have seen, cherished, and taken into my keeping. The world has tried to rename you with words of failure and shame, but hear me. I alone author your identity. You are chosen, not as an afterthought, but as my first desire. Let my truth thunder louder in your spirit than the memories that call you worthless. It matters not how many years you have wandered or how many times your heart faltered. Today marks the turning where I reforge your story with fire and grace. You are not merely surviving. You are rising within the blaze of my purpose, and nothing formed against you can rewrite the destiny I have spoken over your life. Pause now and feel the depth of my nearness. Let your mind drift from worry for just this second and dare to feel the weight of my hand resting gently upon you. Rest in the present. Feel the beat of your heart under your palm, and know this pulse is the sign of my life flowing in you. Breathe. You are shielded, surrounded, and held within a love that cannot break. Let this certainty become the shelter you run to when storms begin to howl again. I do not promise you absence of storm, child, but my immovable presence within every surge of chaos. It is here, where fear and faith collide, that I birth in you a courage that will never spoil. You have secretly wondered if the breakthrough was only a distant hope for others, if the door was forever closed, or if you missed your only chance to fully become what your soul aches for. But watch closely in the days ahead. Moments of clarity will pierce the confusion when you least expect it. In the softness of early morning, you may awaken with understanding that reshapes your fears into fire for your journey. Within 72 hours you will hear words from an unexpected source that confirm what your spirit has longed to believe. You will recognize me in the timbre of comfort and the surge of joy. You'll know it's me because peace will settle, inexplicable and deep, as if I drape a mantle of reassurance over your shoulders. Do not dismiss these interruptions as mere coincidence. I am intentional in every detail that unfolds around you now. Let gratitude become your companion, even the smallest acts, opening your eyes to new light, naming the goodness you discover. Prepare your spirit to receive the fullness waiting ahead. I see that your heart tightens, resisting the risk of hope, fearing disappointment's sting. But remember, faith is not the absence of fear, it is the wild act of standing up and holding out your hands while trembling. Speak aloud now, if only in a whisper. I am loved, I am not alone, I am chosen, no matter what I feel. Each time you repeat this, you drive a stake into the ground of your future, claiming territory the enemy tried to keep from you. You are not on this path in isolation. I am gathering an unseen multitude to walk beside you. Souls who carry the same longing for healing, the same ache for purpose. You are part of a movement of the awakened, those who refuse to let brokenness define the end of their story. Your restoration will become a wellspring for others, for I never work solely for your sake, but always so that your healing splashes onto the dry places around you. Your scars are not marks of disgrace, but banners proclaiming my faithfulness. Others will look at you and see evidence that resurrection is possible, because you walked through fire and did not burn. Even as you hear my words, resistance rises within, whispering familiar doubts. I'm not ready. What if I fall again? Let me answer. Readiness has never been the measure, only willingness. You take the first step and I provide the strength. If you stumble, I am the ground beneath you, softening your fall and raising you once more. My patience knows no limit. My mercy surges new every single morning. Stop rehearsing the story of your failures and let me teach you the melody of becoming. I have written no chapter called Too Late, only continuous unfolding grace. Allow your heart to be soft, even if the world's harshness has tempted you to build walls. Where skepticism once shielded you from pain, let curiosity pull you toward the unfamiliar warmth of my affection. Yes, the invitation is risky, but nothing grows in the soil of fear. I am pulling you out of cycles of old thinking, awakening within you the anticipation of joy restored. The season is changing. The horizon brightens. What you surrendered, dreams, relationships, even hope itself, returns to your hands, refined and multiplied in my timing. Now, stand still. Let my love be the axis around which every desire, every anxiety, every future plan revolves. I am not distant. I ache for nearness with you, for the daily, living exchange of truth and tenderness. You in me, I in you. This unity was always my design for you. Connection deeper than words, communion stronger than sorrow. When you doubt again, recall this. Nothing you do can diminish my longing for your presence. You are my delight, my inheritance, my reason for joy. You who are listening, know this moment is chosen for you. I have drawn you, with all your weariness and longing, to hear these words right now. Not 1 second is wasted, not a breath missed by my awareness. You may wonder why your heart feels restless or why you're searching for answers no one else seems to have, but deep within you sense a gentle summons, an urging to slow the rush and let yourself be held. If you try to brush aside this longing, you'll only become more thirsty. My child, I am speaking now to the depths in you that ache for reassurance, for connection, for a new beginning that doesn't demand perfection before you arrive. When morning breaks and you draw your first breath, I am near. Even when the room feels too quiet or your thoughts churn with worry, my presence anchors you. Pause for a moment. Listen to the hush around you. Let the warmth of this moment settle over your heart. Don't rush into the day's clamor. Stand still and let me meet you where you truly are, not where you pretend to be. I'm not asking you to prove yourself. I'm asking you simply to let my nearness fill those small spaces inside you that hunger for relief. There is beauty in surrender, though you may battle with the idea. You may fear that surrender means giving up or losing yourself, but with me, surrender is where you rediscover who you truly are. Bring me your anxious heart. When shadows of old disappointments threaten to cloud your hope, give them to me. You are not meant to carry every expectation or resolve every fear alone. Hear me. The future is not a puzzle you must solve by yourself. Let your next exhale be an act of trust, breathing out the weight you cannot bear, and breathing in the security of my care. I see the prayers you haven't put into words, the ones that surface as sighs in the night or silent wishes as you gaze out the window. I see how often you wonder if anyone truly notices the battles you're fighting in secret, the moments you almost give up. Look up, beloved. My attention is turned toward you more than you realize. I stand with you every time the world's noise grows overwhelming. When doubts whisper that you are alone, let my voice be louder. I am with you, unshakable and unwavering. You have a place in my heart that cannot be diminished by your uncertainty or shaken by your mistakes. And though there are days when your confidence falters, my promise remains. As you gather the courage to face another morning, I pour out fresh mercy. You are not called to chase after a future that feels out of reach. Instead, I invite you to rest in my timing, to trust that I am opening what needs to be opened and closing what needs to be closed. Every delay or detour is held in my wisdom. There are gifts in the waiting. Let your hope rise, not in what you see, but in who I am for you. Sometimes you strive to hold your family, your dreams, or your identity in place, fearing that if you let go, everything will fall apart. The truth is, when you release your grip, I am the one who catches all that concerns you. Rest your hand on your heart and let me remind you, you are not defined by the shifting opinions of others or by circumstances you cannot control. Each morning I breathe fresh strength into you. You may not see how every step fits together yet, but I am attending to the small details. Nothing escapes my notice. The burdens you are carrying are not invisible to me. Every anxious thought, each hidden regret, is seen with compassion. There is no shame in needing my comfort. If you find it hard to voice your gratitude amid struggle, simply remain with me in the quiet. In the stillness, gratitude will begin to bud within you, not forced, but arising from your growing sense of my closeness. As you allow yourself to stay present in the moment, my peace will settle softly, calming the racing worries that try to define your day. Even now, I am preparing your heart for new possibilities. I am not the source of fear, but the spring from which courage flows. What you have feared will never be too powerful to change my plans for you. I am shaping you into someone who can withstand storms and also find beauty in simple joys. A sunrise, a shared word, the laughter of someone you love. Every small seed of trust you plant today matters. You may wonder if you are enough, if your efforts are seen, but nothing in your journey is wasted in my eyes. There will always be voices that tell you to hurry, to perform, or to fix yourself before you are worthy of joy. Let me break that cycle. Slow your spirit for just a breath and let my affection sink in. I have called you by name, not for what you can do, but for who you are, mine. The world's expectations will shift like sand, but my delight in you is sure. Bring me the parts of yourself that feel unfinished or hidden, and see how I cover them with kindness and patience. If doubts press in, wondering if things will ever change, if your waiting will be rewarded, if your loved ones will ever understand, bring those fears to me. You are not asked to solve it all, but to trust the one who leads you through uncertainty. In every unguarded moment, I am whispering rest to your anxious mind and peace into the corners of your soul. Let yourself lean into that gentle invitation, even if only for a single quiet moment. I am inviting you to come closer just as you are. When you wake to the gentle hush before the world stirs, there is something deeply personal I want you to know. My gaze rests on you, aware of every thought and need. Before your mind starts weaving its worries about the day, linger with me. The world is relentless in its demands, but my presence offers a calm more profound than any answer you could chase. Let the quiet linger in your chest. In that silence, allow yourself to remember that rest is not earned by perfection, but by simply letting me hold you. You are not meant to carry the burden of tomorrow's unknown. The ache that sometimes curls in your chest, the anxious tug of what might unfold, is not yours to handle alone. When fear whispers that you're not enough, pause and breathe, feeling your chest rise and fall. Remember, my promises are not fragile or easily broken. Even as you wait for clarity, as you crave direction, I am anchoring you in a hope that is alive. My voice does not hurry you. Talk to me honestly, even if your words falter. I see when your mind races over responsibilities, your longing to hold family together, the quiet prayer for loved ones who seem distant or struggling. Each name you carry in your heart is precious to me. As you surrender their stories to my hands, know that my care for them is deeper than yours. Release the urge to control outcomes. Let gratitude be a whispered thank you as you wash a dish, touch a photograph, or hear laughter down the hall. Even these ordinary moments are holy ground when shared with me. There will be days when courage feels harder to reach, and the urge to shrink back is strong. In those times, hear me. I am the source of boldness that arises not from bravado, but from being deeply known and loved. When you place your hand over your heart and admit your limits, you do not disappoint me. Instead, you create space for my strength to fill you. When you reach your end, that is where my renewing power begins. Keep stepping forward, even if your steps are small and trembling. Do not measure your worth by unchecked boxes or the approval of others. Nothing you do can alter my affection for you. You are valuable, not because of your productivity, but because you are mine. Stop and notice the warmth on your skin, the breath moving through you, the light that fills the room. Every sense is a reminder that you are held, anchored in the here and now by my steady hand. The world will try to persuade you otherwise, but my truth is unchanging. When anxieties press hard, pulling your shoulders tight, invite my peace instead. It is not distant or conditional. It arrives as a gentle weight settling over your body and mind, a reassurance that you are never abandoned. Even if circumstances stay unresolved, my nearness does not lessen. Quiet your questions by simply naming them aloud in my presence. I am eager to receive every concern, to comfort you as only I can. Draw your focus back to this moment. Let distractions slip away as I speak life into your spirit. Notice how gratitude, even when whispered in weakness, begins to shift the ground beneath your feet. A thankful heart isn't blind to pain, but it finds me in the midst of it. When you choose gratitude, you are not ignoring reality, but inviting me to transform it. Allow your thanks to rise with each small act, a sip of water, sunlight crossing your bed, a heart that still beats even through sorrow. These are glimpses of my goodness pursuing you, signals that I am closer than any shadow of doubt. If you wonder what use your struggles serve, hear this. Nothing is wasted when surrendered to me. Every ache, every delay, is soil where resilience roots deep and purpose forms quietly. I do not rush your process. Trust that I see fruit growing long before you taste it. Instead of forcing answers, let patience have its way. My timing trains you for the things that matter most. I am shaping your courage through every moment you wait, forging wisdom within the space of uncertainty. Sometimes you close your eyes and ask, "What if I fail?" My response is never condemnation, but a compassionate hand extended in kindness. Failure is not the end of your story. I can redeem every misstep, every shortcoming, turning each into a reason for joy and new beginnings. You are not defined by your mistakes, nor are you trapped by past regrets. Release those fears to me. Allow yourself to breathe in my grace, confident that your identity is built on my unshakable word. You are not alone in this journey. I have not left you to navigate each challenge by your own wisdom. Invite me into your questions and routines, into the silent spaces you rarely show others. My guiding presence is not reserved for mountaintops or desperate prayers. It is here, in your ordinary rhythms and daily breath. As you listen, sense the quiet assurance that I am making room for peace to enter, for burdens to be lifted. I am here, shaping each hour with care, as you step into the day still unfolding before you. Let the silence linger as you awaken your senses to my nearness. Even when the world urges you to chase, to fill every empty space with sound and striving, I invite you to pause and listen for the quiet heartbeat of my presence. There, in those hidden moments before the day rushes in, you sense the gentle strength I offer, like a soft warmth that settles over your shoulders. When your mind races with tasks and your heart tumbles with unspoken worries, breathe deeply. With every inhale, receive my assurance that you are never left to shoulder your burdens alone. I see the questions forming inside you. Will today bring relief or more disappointments? What if you miss a crucial step, or someone you love falters in their journey? Come back to the steady truth at the center of all things. I am holding you, and I am not moving away. Do you wonder if your life is significant in the quiet corners, away from the applause and recognition? I smile gently at how you measure your worth. The world counts moments of triumph, but I delight in every small act of courage and love. When you choose to forgive before bitterness takes root, when a grateful sigh escapes you in the early light, when you reach out instead of withdrawing, you are moving in tune with my heart. Never believe for a moment that the unseen labors of compassion are wasted. These become the seeds of healing, both in you and in those around you. Let each humble gesture whisper back to you that I see, I remember, and I delight in your secret victories. Sometimes, uncertainty clouds your confidence. You look to the future and see only fog, hesitant steps over unfamiliar ground. I do not stand at a distance demanding perfection or demanding that you prove yourself worthy before I guide you. Instead, I walk beside you, attentive to each faltering step. When you stumble or feel your vision dimming, my hand steadies you. This is not the course of endless trial. It's an unfolding invitation to trust. not in a vague future, but in my living promise to never abandon you. The road ahead may twist, but every turn is known to me, and every delay carries hidden mercies waiting to be revealed. With every sunrise, I draw near to remind you that my favor is not earned nor withdrawn. It rests lightly upon you because you are mine. Look for me not only in the spectacular, but in the small kindnesses and unplanned detours. When disappointment brushes close and plans unravel before your eyes, hear my quiet urging to come as you are, not with perfect words or flawless resolve, but with the raw honesty of one who trusts a faithful companion. Release your grip on how you think today should unfold. Give me the fragments of your expectations, and watch as I shape them into something surprisingly beautiful. There are mornings when weariness clings to you, and hope feels distant, a faint glimmer just out of reach. You may wonder if you are strong enough to rise again, to offer yourself in a world that sometimes returns indifference. Here in these silent exchanges, I fill the emptiness with my own life. Listen for the pulse of hope beating quietly beneath your discouragement, the laughter of a child, a friend's gentle word, the scent of coffee drifting through your home. In these sensory moments, let gratitude become your ground. When you give thanks in the midst of uncertainty, you open the door to my renewing joy, making space for unexpected peace to settle in. The friction of unmet desires may try to convince you that surrender means giving up what matters most. Let me show you another way. Surrender is an open-handed trust, a willingness to let me move in places you cannot control. This is not a call to passivity, but to partnership, where you walk in boldness, trusting each step to the guidance of my love. When anxieties surge and old fears try to claim your heart, picture my steady hand, palm open, offering you shelter and assurance. Gently place your worries there and watch as I carry what you cannot bear. Every sacrifice of trust becomes a seed that I faithfully tend, bringing forth new growth in forms you have not yet imagined. You have come through seasons of striving, long nights where anxious thoughts circled and rest seemed impossible. Each time you chose to whisper your fears to me, you welcomed my stillness. Let yourself feel the difference between striving in your own strength and moving in the quiet power of my spirit. You do not have to force your destiny. You are already deeply known and cherished. Even when your past tries to shape your identity, remember, I have called you by name. Your history is not a chain, but a reminder of the faithfulness that has carried you thus far. Remember, I am not counting your failures and measuring you against impossible standards. Instead, I am forming you, moment by moment, into a reflection of my heart. When you look at your reflection and doubt your worth, turn your eyes toward me. My delight in you does not waver with your emotions or successes. I am the steady one who rejoices over you with quiet singing, even when you cannot hear the melody. Let my delight be the lens through which you view your worth, dissolving the shadows of self-doubt that try to linger. At times, other voices will question your path or the way you have chosen to love. Some may misunderstand your motives, or judge your progress by standards I never set for you. Lift your gaze from their criticism, and listen again for my affirmation. I cherish even the faltering steps of obedience. I mark each movement toward kindness and each word spoken with care. You are not called to perform for the applause of others, but to rest in the approval of the one who shaped you with purpose. Walk on, grounded by the certainty that my love is not fickle, but fierce and abiding. I am nearer than your breath. Rest in that unchanging truth as this day unfolds. Do not rush past what you sense stirring in you now. That silent longing, the ache you keep hidden. I have seen every shade and shadow of it, and I am not surprised or weary of your need. The world trained you to hide your wounds, but my kingdom operates on honesty, not pretense. Let the walls fall. Tell me where the bitterness lingers, and I will begin to soften the soil of your heart again. There is no need to pretend strength before me, dear one. I am not a distant observer, but the one who moves with you in sleepless nights and anxious mornings. Even your questions do not offend me. Bring them into my light so shame cannot grow in silence. There is something you have carried that was never yours to bear, and it is time to give it back. Breathe in deeply, right now in this moment, as the air fills your lungs. Let yourself remember you are still alive, because I am not finished with your story. You wonder if you are too late, that circumstances have already written the ending. You have measured your dreams against the echo of past disappointments and convinced yourself some doors are locked forever. I tell you, I hold the keys, not just to doors you recognize, but also to rooms you have never imagined. Some answers have been delayed because my love was protecting you from burdens that could have broken you. My timing is set by wisdom, not by your panic or the pressure of your timeline. Right now, place your hand over your heart and feel its steady beat. Each thump is my reminder that you are marked for more. When despair tries to whisper defeat, I thunder with promise. Your season is shifting, even while you doubt. Stay with me as I open hidden places inside you, those deep spaces where fear took root after betrayal. I know where trust was shattered, where you retreated and built your defenses high. But what feels like fortress walls are really cages, and I am the one who comes to set the prisoner free. You are not meant for survival alone. My purpose for you is not merely to endure, but to awaken to life in its fullness. There are gifts I placed within you, dormant but alive, waiting to surface in their perfect moment. Will you be brave enough now to let hope in again? You are not risking disappointment by handing me your wounded dreams. You are inviting a resurrection. Stop replaying what went wrong. Begin to listen for the sound of life stirring beneath your disappointment. Something holy is growing there, out of view. Notice the way your breath is slowing as you let my presence settle around you. The heaviness in your chest is not yours to carry. Surrender it. With each exhale, picture the weight lifting, layer by stubborn layer. My arms surround you. Wrap yourself in the reality that the one who commands universes also kneels beside you now. Be still for just this breath and feel the strange sense of peace pressing in, contrary to all outward evidence. This is the quiet beginning of your breakthrough, the first light dawning on what you thought was a lost cause. Believe this, the deepest transformation happens in darkness before the sun rises. Keep your eyes open, my child. The first hints of morning are about to break, and you do not want to miss what they reveal. There is a lie battling to keep you in chains, that you are too much, too broken, too stained by decisions you wish you could erase. I watched as those lies crept in, seeded by the harshness of life and watered by every careless word. But I call those lies to account. I sever their hold now. Hear me. You are not a product of your worst moments. You are not defined by the opinions of others or by the labels you shakily wear. I say you are chosen, anointed, beloved beyond comprehension. My blood speaks louder than your shame, drowning out every accusation. Right now, let my truth take root in the places that pain once grew like thorns. Say it with me. I am redeemed. I am whole. I am called by name. Speak these out loud. There is power when your voice agrees with mine. Sometimes you feel powerless to change the narrative of your life. The old cycles circle back. Familiar fears resurface just as you begin to hope. I am not disappointed by your stumbles. I already see the finish line, and I know how you will emerge, stronger and more radiant than you ever imagined. What you call setbacks, I use as training ground. What you call failures, I use as foundation stones for your future. Do you understand what that means? Every misstep will become a source of wisdom. Every regret will yield to restoration when placed in my hands. I waste nothing. Even what the enemy meant for harm, I am turning for your good. Pause and look around you. Feel the coolness of your skin, the rhythm of your breath, the subtle energy that vibrates through every cell. That is evidence of my nearness. My kingdom is not far off or reserved for the afterlife. It invades this very moment, right where you sit. Close your eyes if you wish and sense this. I am closer than your next breath. Within 72 hours you will recognize a whisper of peace during the chaos, a clarity you cannot explain. You will know it's me because your mind just for a moment will rest easy and hope will become possible again. You are not the only one who struggles to believe. Multitudes have stood where you stand now, trembling between old fears and the possibility of new faith. There is no shame here, only belonging. Look how many are discovering freedom as you are, right now. You are joining a movement of the awakened, hearts rising together in courage, refusing to settle for survival. Your willingness to be honest with me, even for a heartbeat, is shaking the ground beneath you. The atmosphere is shifting as you open your hands. Stay open, stay willing. There is more for you than you have yet seen, and tomorrow holds more light than today. Listen to me. Some of the closed doors in your life were me shielding you, not me rejecting you. I would rather disappoint your dreams than lose your heart to something that would devour your hope. Every no was a yes to something better, even though your eyes could not see it yet. Trust my leadership in the silence. Trust the way I reorder your steps even when it feels like wandering. I am never reckless with your soul. Every detour, every delay, every hidden season is part of the transformation I am working deep within you. Soon you will see the wisdom with which I led you. For now, trust that nothing is wasted in my hands. There is more at work than you now. Even now, as doubts clamor for your attention and the temptation to retreat grows strong, hear me. I am not finished. The story is still unfolding. The next word I speak over you will break chains you once thought unbreakable. Stay close. The best is not behind you. What's coming will redeem even what you regret most. My beloved, draw nearer. Even now, I am whispering into the quiet places within you. where questions still linger and hope feels fragile. You have carried the weight of yesterday's disappointments, turning them over in your thoughts when the world is silent. Do you sense how I come close in those moments? How my presence softly wraps around your heart? I know you sometimes fear that your pain sets you apart, that no one could carry the ache you shield so carefully. Yet even in that isolation, I am within reach, nearer than your next breath. Let yourself exhale the tension you gather. Pause and notice how the air moves in your lungs. This moment, right now, is a meeting place. I am inviting you to release what hurts you and receive what restores you. Do not mistake my silence as abandonment. My child, I know that sometimes you wonder why I let the storm rage around your hopes. There is purpose, even in what you do not understand. My silence is not the absence of love, but the setting for revelation. Feel how anxiety has tightened your chest. Place your hand there. Breathe in deeply, and let my peace settle in the space fear once occupied. Release that question, why me? I have chosen you for endurance, not punishment. You may battle waves of doubt, but do not surrender to them. Allow them to become proof of your resilience and a witness to my sustaining grace. Remember, nothing you have faced can separate you from what I am growing within you. Right now, someone listening feels unworthy, marked by regrets few can see. You have believed the lies whispered in moments of weakness, that you are always one mistake away from being disqualified from my favor. Hear me clearly. You are not rejected. You are not too broken. I see every scar, every hidden wound, and I say you are precious. What the world calls a flaw, I call a sign of overcoming. Say aloud with trembling faith, I am still chosen. Watch how those words shift the ground beneath you. Do not resist the tears rising. You are in the sacred work of being made whole, and your vulnerability is a doorway to deeper transformation. You ask, how can I trust again when disappointment has been my companion for so long? I am not asking you to trust the shifting sands of circumstance, but to anchor yourself in me, the unchanging one. Even when everything around you has faltered, has my love not remained? Do you remember the times you thought you were alone, only to sense an unexplained courage, a peaceful settling in your spirit? That was me holding you steady. Relive that memory now. Let the evidence of my faithfulness become your shelter. The next time fear tries to convince you that surrender brings pain, recall how each time you've let go, even a little, you experience surprising relief instead of ruin. This is the paradox of my ways. You lose what burdens you when you place it in my hands. Pause again. Close your eyes if you can. Sense the warmth settling over your shoulders, like a gentle embrace after a long struggle. My presence is not a theory to be analyzed. It is the reality you are meant to experience. Be still. Listen for the quiet affirmation rising from deep within. You are safe. You are seen. You walk not alone. Let these truths circle through your mind, disrupting the lies that have had too much power for too long. Sometimes, the journey to healing feels like walking through shadowed valleys, but remember, my light is always ahead, illuminating the steps you haven't taken yet. There is something new taking root within you, even if your mind struggles to see progress. Much like the shift in atmosphere when dawn approaches, transformation often begins in darkness. I am cultivating patience and resilience in you, not to prolong your suffering, but to prepare you for a weight of glory you cannot yet imagine. Can you trust the process even while it stretches your limits? My strength is most evident in your gentle perseverance, my wisdom revealed in your surrendered waiting. I hear the unspoken prayers you whisper at midnight, the ones you never voice aloud. Not a single longing is wasted. You wonder if anybody else has stood in this place, fearful, questioning, tired of hoping. Know this, you are joining a movement of the awakened, the ones who dare to hope again even when hope feels dangerous. Many have walked this road with trembling hearts and have discovered that my sustaining power does not fail, even in the fire. You are never as alone as your mind claims. My glory is rising among you, knitting together a family of the broken made whole. You are part of something larger, drawn together by my love. If doubt has crept in, suggesting that this is just another moment that will pass without change, look deeper. Notice how your heart beats a little faster right now. There are no coincidences. Even this stirring is evidence of my hand. In the next 3 days, you will recognize an unexpected peace in a mundane moment, a sudden clarity where confusion once reigned. You'll know it is me because the peace will make no sense by earthly logic. Let that become your signpost. I am guiding you beyond what is visible into the realm of unshakable trust. My beloved, let me speak directly to the fear you have not dared to name. You worry that surrender means losing your identity or giving up your dreams. Here is truth. Anything surrendered to me multiplies in purpose. You are not called to lay down your dreams in exchange for emptiness, but to offer them so I can fill them with resurrection power. Restoration looks different than you planned, but it carries the beauty you have secretly longed for. Lay your hand on your heart again. Whisper, something sacred is happening within me. The pain is not the end. I am crafting something eternal from what tried to destroy you. Stop and remember. My love for you does not diminish on your hardest days. When you stumble, I am the hand reaching to steady you, not the voice condemning your struggle. I am relentless in pursuing your wholeness, patient in the face of your resistance, gentle when you most expect harshness. Every part of you is known, held, and loved without reservation. Trust this. When darkness presses close, my light does not withdraw. It intensifies to guide you home. Do you sense the invitation opening before you? Don't rush away from it. Let your soul rest in the assurance that I am working in the unseen, in ways yet to be revealed. Your pain is not wasted, your waiting not pointless. You are being refined, shaped by my very hands into the radiant reflection of my love. Soon you will realize that what looked like delay was the divine setting for your greatest transformation. There is so much I have yet to unveil, beloved. Remain close, for the next chapter is unfolding even now. Even in the hush of early hours, as the sunlight filters softly through your window, I am here, attentive to every hope and worry alive in your heart. You wonder if you're heard, if I notice the hidden corners of your soul, not just the things you say, but the silent questions and unspoken dreams. My gaze is gentle yet searching, seeing past the surface weariness, inviting you to trust me deeper still. There is a comfort to be found, my child, in the quiet assurance that nothing escapes my notice. As you let your shoulders relax and inhale peace, feel the warmth of my presence settling around you like a promise kept. Let me speak into the places that clench with anxiety, the points where old disappointments echo. I know how your thoughts sometimes spin, looping through uncertainties about your future, about the ones you love most, about whether joy can truly find you again. Pause for just a moment and lift your attention to me. The world does not rest on your shoulders, beloved. Let my strength become your anchor. My guidance is more dependable than the morning, and I am committed to leading you towards what is right and true for you. When you reach for answers and find only confusion, know that I am crafting wisdom within you even now. Every delay, every door you wish would already open, is a place where I am training your sight, enlarging your heart, preparing greater things through patience. Do not despise the waiting. Instead, welcome it as ground where your roots deepen into me. Each breath you take with gratitude, each small surrender, like when you unclench your hands and whisper, I trust you, invites my spirit to do miracles where you cannot see. A sense of timing weighs heavily sometimes, doesn't it? You worry you might miss your moment, or that the world will sweep past while you linger behind. But I do not measure your life's progression by the turning of clocks or the opinions of others. Lay down the tired narratives of comparison. My purposes unfold according to my design, and you will not be left out or forgotten. As the day unfolds and the noise rises, keep returning to that truth. You are right on time with me. Listen closely and you will detect my encouragement in simple things. A gentle breeze, the loving glance of a family member, the unexpected melody that stirs your soul. I fill your days with small assurances of my affection, if only you pause to notice. If doubt creeps in, remember the moments where you felt my rescue in the past. You have encountered my faithfulness before, and I remain the same steady hand guiding you today. Even as you care for others, tending to their needs, lifting them in prayer, or simply holding space for their pain, I am tending to you. Let the love you pour out become a channel through which my own love replenishes your spirit. Release the need to orchestrate every outcome. Trust that I am working beyond your line of sight. Surrender isn't losing power. It is aligning with the strength I offer you freely, moment by moment. The pressures of expectation, your own or those laid upon you, can blur your vision and tighten your chest. Let me ease you from the weight of should. I call you to walk in step with me, not to race toward an uncertain finish. There is a rhythm of grace available now, a pace that allows you to flourish in my presence. If you lose sight of it, simply return, pressing your hand over your heart and exhaling the tension. Every return to me is met with delight. Sometimes disappointment threatens to harden your hope, making you cautious where you were once open. Trust is not naive, beloved. It is a declaration that my promises are alive and active over your life. When pain or discouragement visit, let them be the doorway through which you draw nearer, asking me to speak comfort again. You don't have to minimize your feelings to be strong. Bring them all, and place them gently in my care. I am inviting you, step by step, into greater freedoms. Freedom from the need to control, from the fear of scarcity, from the lie that you must earn my pleasure. Allow each act of gratitude today to be a celebration of enoughness. Thank me for breath, for the shelter around you, for every meal. These simple acknowledgments create room for my peace to expand within you, crowding out anxiety. As the day shifts and life's demands surge, remember that you can pause at any moment and find me. I am not relegated to stillness only. I walk beside you in errands, in meetings, in the hurried rhythms. Whisper my name when you forget, and notice how my reassurance rises within you, calm and unwavering. You never have to journey without my company. My nearness is a shield, not just in danger but in everyday living. My guidance is gentle, always inviting rather than forcing. I will never coerce you into a life you have not chosen. Instead, I whisper reminders of who you truly are, a beloved child, purposed and known and precious to me. When distractions pull you or old labels cling, remember this identity that I declare over you, steady and unchanging. With every new morning I announce your worth again. Though uncertainty persists in the world around you, my faithfulness does not falter. I am your constant, your center when everything feels scattered. If fear threatens to obscure your view, let my voice cut through the noise. I am for you. I am with you. I am within you. You have nothing to prove to earn this belonging. Settle into that truth, letting it dissolve the pressure to be anything other than mine. Your journey is unfolding with my presence as its surest companion. There is no distance you can travel, no mistake you can make, no detour you can take that will remove you from my watchful care. Today and always, I hold the roadmap and the gentle patience for each of your turns. In the pauses and in the progress, I remain beside you, abundantly committed. The story continues, beloved. Keep walking with me. Let me speak into this moment where you feel things are not aligning as quickly as you desire. I do not measure your days as you do. My knowing is not anxious, and my timing refuses to bow to pressure. When you feel the press of unmet hopes or the weight of longed-for outcomes, remember, I see every angle, every heart you touch, every silent gesture of love done when you thought no one noticed. My eye lingers on you in rooms where your name is never spoken aloud. My presence wraps around your uncertainty, a steady warmth in the unseen spaces. Know this. Where you sigh in frustration, I whisper reassurance, underscoring your journey with divine patience. You sometimes believe that if only you could be more disciplined, more bold, more trusting, then you would earn the change you crave. This is not how I move. I do not wait for you to perform before I draw near. My love is not transactional, and my purpose for you is not unlocked by flawless striving. When you look at yourself and feel lacking, listen. I have already called you mine, and perfection has never been my prerequisite for delighting in you. Let your breath settle there. Place a hand upon your heart. Sense my presence quieting every storm of inadequacy. Every beat is attended by my assurance. Often you wrestle to let go of burdens that you have carried so long they feel familiar, as if letting them drop would leave you exposed somehow. But surrender is not abandonment nor failure. It is the brave act of returning the weight to my capable hands. There is relief in that release. Even now, as you recall the struggles concealed beneath a composed surface, I invite you to rest, just for this moment. In the truth, you are free to trust me with what you cannot fix alone. I am working beneath and beyond what you see. Never idle, always intent on your good. Within the hush of mornings, notice how light spills across the floor, the world's renewal at your feet. This too is how I meet you, steadily without fanfare, infusing your routines with opportunities for new gratitude. When you awaken, dare to pause before the day's demands return. Taste stillness as a gift from my hand, not a hesitation. Just a few heartbeats of being present with me shifts the gravity of everything that follows. Even ordinary moments become openings to rediscover my nearness, to savor peace instead of scrambling ahead. In conversations, in the laughter and tears of those close to you, I am there, gentle in the sharing, strong in the silence, committed to restoring what feels frayed or distant. When a loved one's words bruise or the silence between you stretches on, my whisper anchors you. You are never alone in seeking reconciliation. The family I have gifted you, whether by birth or by spirit, is a space where my love can be displayed and learned anew. Let my patience shape your words and cushion your misunderstandings. Every attempt at kindness echoes far louder in eternity than you can now fathom. There may be times when fear strikes and anxiety feels like a tide pulling you out of your depth. In those waves, my voice remains steadfast. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. If you breathe deeply even now, sense my peace threading through the racing thoughts, not as denial of reality, but as a reminder that I am greater than every anxiety that assails you. My hand rests gently on your shoulder in that anxious room, an anchor when you have nothing else to cling to. Decisions rise before you as crossroads, jobs, relationships, callings that press urgently for resolution. You wonder, what if I choose wrong? Hear me in the uncertainty. Your worth is not tied to getting it all right. I am the one who guides you, not with riddles and traps, but with a deep longing for your joy and flourishing. If the path ahead seems veiled, know that every step you take in quiet trust pleases me. Listen for those subtle nudges, the inner resonance with what is good and life-giving. I build your wisdom slowly, through practiced faithfulness. Some days discouragement sits heavy, casting a dim light over your dreams. Do not shy from admitting this to me. I delight in your honesty. Lifting your gaze does not mean pretending all is well, but inviting me into every shadowed place. My encouragement is not a shallow cheer, it is the grounding force that steadies you when progress feels slow. As you carry on, let me remind you that no effort is lost, no act of faithfulness ever wasted. The harvest is coming, though not always as you anticipated. Your labor, seen and unseen, is remembered by me. Through it all, let your own voice of gratitude rise. Name even the smallest mercies as gifts. Sunlight on your face, a friend's unexpected kindness, breath flowing easy. These are reminders that I am actively present, working out goodness not simply at the end of the struggle, but within it. Your heart was made to encounter blessing not as a rare event, but as your new normal. Expect to find my favor not just ahead, but right here, in the faces, tasks, and routines you touch today. I give joy that fills even the simplest spaces. If doubt lingers, what if your best is never enough, or the things you care for don't hold together? Remember, I am sustaining you even where your grip seems weak. You, beloved, are not simply surviving out of your own strength. My grace is the air you breathe and the bed you rest upon. Allow yourself to return again and again to this truth. I have chosen you, and nothing can undo that. The process unfolding in you is my craftsmanship, day by day, even when you cannot see the full shape of it yet. I hold the ending and I cover every step along the path. Beloved child, the transformation I have begun within you is now rippling outward, touching the places you thought were beyond redemption. Where you once saw only your own scars, now you begin to notice new strength, even in the places of your deepest pain. What you mistook for permanent wounding has been, all along, the soil from which I am coaxing forth resilience. You are learning that your story is not a testimony marred by failure, but a living witness of my restorative power. Breathe in, right now, as certainty settles over you. What once threatened to destroy you has become the very foundation I use to anchor your destiny. Pause with me for a moment. Run your hand over your heart and notice how it beats. Each thrum is a reminder that I am still here, still working, still shaping your days with intention. I know you wonder if this change is real, if peace like this lasts. I hear the question rising within you. What if I slip? What if it all fades away? Dear one, hear me. The changes I bring are not fragile. My love is relentless. My plans for you are fire-tested and weatherproof. I am not finished. There is a depth to what I'm doing that you cannot yet see. Let me reveal a truth that changes everything. You have not just survived. I am forging you into a vessel of hope for others. The very places you considered wasted are now being transformed into wells of comfort and understanding. Others will drink deeply from what I pour through you. Do not shrink back from this emerging calling. I am not asking you to pretend you are fearless. Bring me your trembling, your uncertainties. I want you as you are, in your raw need and honest longing, because it is there that my glory shines all the brighter. Right now, there are hidden seeds within you, gifts you have barely dared to name, much less use. I have not overlooked even a single talent or desire. The dreams you thought dead are only dormant, awaiting the right season. This is it. I am awakening what has long slumbered in the dark. Your voice matters, your gifts are needed, and your brokenness will become a beacon for those still lost in the night. Do you feel that stirring underneath your ribs? That is me, summoning forth your true self, calling you into the next chapter. There will be moments when the old lies try to return, whispering that you are not enough, that you still wear the stains of shame. But listen to me. I have washed you, claimed you, and named you beloved. Every accusation raised against your worth is silenced in my presence. When fear snarls at you, take a breath and remember whose you are. You are not who you were. Even when old feelings resurface, I have marked you forever with my love. Today I am issuing a quiet commission. Your story is a key someone else desperately needs, and your healing is never just for you. My power never moves in isolation. Little one, as you open more fully to me, I will guide people across your path who hunger for the hope now alive in you. Expect divine intersections. Pay attention to the nudges. When you sense my whisper urging you to reach out, trust that I have already prepared both your heart and theirs for the encounter. This is how I build my kingdom. One heart, one moment, one restored soul at a time. You won't always feel ready. That's not the point. My strength is perfected in your weakness. The less self-assured you feel, the more my spirit will rise up and flow through you. I know the enemy has tried every tactic to convince you that your voice is too small, your past too messy, your faith too unsteady. But I am not searching for flawless vessels. I am searching for open ones. Let me fill you with courage that surpasses understanding, and you will see doors swing wide that you never even dared to knock on. Remember how the darkness once pressed so tightly around you that even hope seemed impossible? Now, light seeps into every crevice, illuminating the truth you carry. You do not walk empty-handed. You are not wandering without compass or purpose. I have set your path aglow with my presence, and each step you dare to take in faith becomes a declaration of my victory. When you sense uncertainty rising, stop and anchor yourself in this reality. I am with you, I am for you, and nothing can separate you from my love. There is someone watching your steps now, hungry for a glimpse of the transformation you have experienced. Do not underestimate the ripple effect of one courageous act, one honest conversation, one choice to walk in love instead of fear. What feels small to you is magnified in my hands. If you pay attention, you may notice within the next 48 hours a stranger's eyes lingering on yours, a moment when you are prompted to speak kindness or share your story. You'll know it is me because peace will come over you, unexpected, undeniable, unmistakable. Your breakthrough is infectious. It awakens others even as it grounds you. Each time you share your testimony, you fortify not just your own faith, but the faith of those I am drawing. You are stepping into the role of a carrier of hope, a mender of broken places. Do not shrink back. I have equipped you for this. My grace is all you need for what comes next. Pause and breathe. Feel the strength rising within you, the quiet, steady assurance that you do not walk alone. It's safe for you to open your hands now, to release what still weighs you down. I am here to receive every lingering anxiety, every whisper of inadequacy, every remnant of doubt. The more you yield, the lighter you will become, and the clearer my voice will sound in your spirit. You may still have moments when pain resurfaces, when the shadows try to lengthen again, but notice how they no longer overwhelm. You have learned to run to me, to find shelter, to let my voice override every echo of the past. This is freedom, not the absence of struggle, but the constant presence of my sustaining power. I am proud of you, child. Even when your steps feel unsteady, you are moving in the right direction. There is more for you. The next phase will require courage, but remember, I do not give you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. When you feel resistance, see it not as failure, but as evidence of growth. It means you are moving forward, and the old ties are snapping one by one. Stay close. Listen for my words at the edge of your thoughts. There is something I will reveal that will recalibrate your path for the days ahead. Peace, now. Rest in the assurance that my plans are unfolding, even in the silence. Your yes matters. Your life is proof of my goodness, and your journey is not a lonely road. It is a procession leading to greater glory. As you lift your gaze, Expect to see my fingerprints on the unexpected. I am guiding, providing, and preparing all that you need for the next step. Remain open, for your greatest assignment is emerging even now. When you reach the moments that seem pivotal, where one choice or a single conversation could shift everything, remember that my presence surrounds you even before you step forward. I see every hesitation rise in your chest, every calculation in your mind as you weigh outcomes you cannot control. Trust is not the absence of uncertainty. It is the willingness to lean into my goodness when the road is unclear. I am intimately involved in your today, observing the swirl of circumstances, steadying your hand and heart when the air feels charged with what-ifs. In the quiet hush that settles before the world awakens, let me remind you that your value does not rise or fall with productivity. You are not a sum of finished tasks or other people's opinions. I crafted you for delight, not perpetual striving. There is purpose in rest, a holy yield from moments when you pause and let stillness fill your lungs. Sometimes the loudness of ambition and the clamor of anxiety drown out my gentle guidance, but my invitation to come closer never ends. Even now, if you close your eyes and exhale, you will sense a quiet invitation to trust. Beloved, there is no shadow in your spirit I am unwilling to enter and illuminate. Those secret doubts about your influence, your capacity, your worth, are nothing to be ashamed of. In my light, you can lay them down without fear. You are safest with me, not because hardship vanishes, but because I promise never to abandon you to it. My favor does not require flawless execution. It flourishes best in surrendered hearts, in the whispered prayers that feel unfinished. Your longing to see change is precious to me, but your willingness to let me work in unexpected ways matters even more. If resentment or fatigue has crept around you like a persistent chill, confess it honestly in my presence. Let me transform bitterness into tenderness, turn over frustration until hope glimmers underneath. I see how you carry heaviness for loved ones, how your heart aches to protect, restore, or lead them rightly. Do not think I am distant from them or deaf to your petitions. Even in the swirl of their decisions, in the places you fear your voice can't reach, my spirit is at work. I am more committed to their wholeness than you can imagine. Little one, you sometimes wonder if your story is delayed, if my promises for you have stalled on the threshold. I want you to know, timing in my kingdom is never random or punitive. Even in seasons when doors remain closed, I am cultivating depth and resilience in you, preparing you for good things that are not yet visible. The waiting is not empty. Your prayers, quietly offered, are like seeds breaking open in hidden soil. Trust me for the fruit that ripens in patience. Let today's simplicity become sacred. A mug warming your hands, the familiar hum of life unfolding around you, the soft gaze of someone who loves you. These are signs of my kindness woven through your ordinary moments. Do not despise what feels small. Small things carry the weight of eternity when offered with gratitude. As you gather hope in these little gifts, let thankfulness protect your heart from restlessness. I know how the fear of disappointing others haunts your ambitions, pressuring you to say yes when your soul longs for margin. Rest, my dear, is not neglect. It is a sign that you trust my sufficiency beyond your effort. When you give yourself permission to slow down, to step away from endless hustle, you are not being irresponsible. You are choosing to believe that I am your provider, that my plans will not collapse if you pause to breathe. Let this assurance settle your racing thoughts. You may have learned to guard yourself from hope, quietly fearing that expectation will only set you up for disappointment. But I urge you, dare to hope with me again. The risk of vulnerability is lighter in my presence, for I do not mock tender hearts or laugh at fragile dreams. Bring me your honest desires, even the unspoken prayers buried deep beneath layers of self-protection. My arms are strong enough to hold them all, and my wisdom is patient enough to shape your dreams for lasting good. Do not measure your season through the lens of comparison. My work in you is beautifully unique. What I accomplish in you will not look like what I do in another, nor should it. The pathway you travel has been prepared by my hand. Every twist and rise, each valley and summit, serves your becoming. Celebrate the victories of others without letting envy take root, and turn back often to remember the ways I've carried you through. You who are mine, do not grow weary in doing good, though the return seems slow or hidden. Obedience in the mundane is heroic in my kingdom. I delight in the unseen acts of courage, a gentle word, a kept promise, a less traveled path chosen with me. Even when applause is absent and progress looks negligible, I am building a foundation that will stand storms. Let your motivation come from knowing you are seen, loved, and accompanied, not from needing to manufacture outcomes. When night falls and doubts try to haunt what daylight faith illuminated, lay your head down trusting that my watch does not falter. I cluster my presence around your rest, giving assurance that tomorrow will hold new mercies. Each morning my invitation will meet you again. We will walk together another step forward. You are not alone, you never have been. I am closer than your breath, and I rejoice every time you return to listen. My love remains your steadiness now and always. Breathe, my beloved, for you are standing on holy ground even now. As my words wrap around your heart and begin to settle into the silent places you've tried so long to hide. Everything that once felt futile, every echo of disappointment, every silent accusation declaring you unworthy, all of it is coming undone beneath the radiance of my relentless love. I whisper to you now, drawing you nearer than even your own breath, reminding you that not one second of your journey has been wasted or overlooked. You are here, because I have orchestrated the alignment of your days not by random chance, but by a deeper purpose aching to be fulfilled through you. The ache inside, that longing you have not been able to quench, is not your enemy. It is the call of eternity stamped upon your soul as proof you belong to something everlasting. You have feared that you might miss your moment, that you might somehow fall short or find yourself left behind in the shadows of others' progress. Hear me. Delay does not equal denial. I am sovereign over all timing, and when you thought I had forgotten, I was simply bringing forth the fullness that only comes after the deepest hunger. You are not meant to starve in spirit, but to feast on the abundance of presence. This is the season where you will taste and see, right here, in unexpected hours. Don't rush past this. Be still for a moment longer. Sense the subtle shift in the atmosphere around you, the gentle hush, the dissolving heaviness, the warmth that blooms beneath your skin. That is me, streaming in, infusing you with strength you thought you had lost. I am not calling you to climb alone. My hand is on your shoulder, guiding you with patience, championing every small brave step you take. I am not disappointed in your questions, nor do I turn away from your stumbles. I cherish your honesty. I honor your courage each time you lay down even a fragment of fear at my feet. You have believed at times that your story is ordinary, that your voice does not carry the power to make a difference. Let me tell you a secret. Your life is the testimony that heaven delights in. The very scars you tried to cover are now becoming sacred marks of a healing journey, a mosaic only I could craft from brokenness. Every time you chose kindness instead of revenge, hope instead of despair, rest instead of striving, you wrote a new line in the history we write together. Your obedience, even when trembling, has opened doors in the spirit you cannot yet comprehend. Imagine waking tomorrow and noticing how the greatest burden you carried feels lighter. Imagine being startled by an unexpected moment of peace, right in the middle of tasks you thought mundane. This is no accident. You'll know it's me because the old anxieties will not be able to cling to you with the same grip. Their power is breaking now. I am shifting the ground beneath your feet, adjusting what seemed immovable, making straight what was impossibly tangled. There is a surge of clarity coming, a recognition of your authority and a steadfastness rising from the ashes. You are not who you were. Let that truth settle in. Every moment of surrender became a turning point, repositioning your destiny. You have pressed through storms that threatened to drown you, and now you know the sound of my voice above the waves. The lies once whispered over your worth have lost their hold. Say it aloud. I am chosen. I am beloved. I am new. And let the atmosphere shift with your agreement. The past is not a prison. It is a testimony to the one who saw every twist in your journey and still calls you forward, unashamed, unafraid. Look around you. Countless others have drawn near to my heart, trembling just as you have, hungry for hope. You are joining a movement of those who will not settle for shadows but step boldly into light. Your willingness to trust me anew is shaking chains you never placed on yourself. Breakthrough is more than a moment. It is the unfolding story of daily resurrection, as I awaken dreams you buried long ago and pour out fresh adventures for your spirit to explore. Listen for the stirring in your soul that says, There is more. That is the nudge of promise. It will not leave you empty. Today is not an ending, but an initiation. You are being commissioned, not to perfection or pressure, but to openness, to carrying my presence into all the spaces you inhabit. Wherever you go, I go. Whatever you fear, I face beside you. There will be days ahead when doubts try to return, but remember this: I do not regret calling you. My love is not fragile. I do not withdraw when you falter, but surround you with renewed mercies. If you feel weak, know that it is in that very moment I am pouring out what only heaven can give: courage, wisdom, resilience, hope. I see you, precious one. I see beyond what you show the world. In the privacy of your own thoughts, I still choose you, over and over, with joy. Your hidden tears, your silent victories, your unanswered prayers are not forgotten. Every sigh, every longing, becomes a seed for transformation when placed in my hands. Today, surrender what's left, no matter how small. Lay every anxious question before me. Place your hand over your heart and whisper, "You are with me." Let that confession ignite a holy fire inside. The embers are already burning brighter. I promise, what begins here will multiply. The peace you receive today will overflow into others, your family, your friends, even strangers who brush past you without knowing the source of the light you carry. You are a carrier of my presence. You are marked, sealed, and anointed for such a time as this. You may tremble, but you will not fall. I have set your feet on solid ground, and your story is only just unfolding. I am proud of you. I am for you, and I will finish what I started. Amen. Before you leave this moment, tell me which truth reached deepest. Write it below, not as performance, but as remembrance. When you see those words again, they will anchor you. I am reading every one, beloved.